It starts with one. All it's so unreal. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even
All right, Banditos, it's time of that week. What? Wait, what did I say? It's that time of the week. I don't know what language I speak. It is Friday, December 22. Oh my gosh, Christmas is around the corner. TGIF, I got one for you. Does anybody else like think, you know, a couple of seconds ahead? So when you talk, the words come out like backwards or twisted, or am I the only alien on this planet? Sometimes I feel like I'm an alien on this planet, I'm telling you. Like I'll be talking, I'll listen back to my streams sometimes. I'm like, what did I just say? My words were backwards there. You know what I mean? Like the words came out scrambled a little bit. You guys speak Tux by now, don't you? You do too, Mick? Right on, man. Yeah, sometimes I get excited and I'm kind of thinking about what I want to say while I'm saying it, and then it kind of comes out a little bit funky monkey, but you know, we get through. I'm teaching you guys a new language. Idioma Tux. Anyways, I got one for you today, guys. So, you know, we've been spending some time there in the summit, having a blast doing that, by the way. And if you guys didn't see the newest video I put out, I really hope you guys take a jaunder through that one. It's a little bit long. It's a little over 20 minutes, but it's 101 things I wish I knew when I started Division 2. And it's a big info drop, so I hope there's something in there that you might find helpful, maybe something you forgot or you didn't know. And if you're new and a returning player, then you definitely got to dig into that one, because it's basically everything you need to know. But once you get to level 40, I gotta say, you know, before that, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I was just talking about it earlier with someone saying that, like, man, like, it's been so long since I was like a new character in this game. Like, I don't remember half the stuff. And I've been thinking about doing like a nostalgia walkthrough. What up, James? Good to see you, man. Wick is back in the house. I was thinking about doing like a, somehow I got to figure out how, you know what I mean? Because I'm on Xbox, right? And so I think you can only have one account per game. And so if I wanted to start over a character from completely ground up and walk through the new player base, I think I'd have to buy the game again and put it under a different login, right? A different email, because I can't just delete a character. That, for one, I need my stash space and number two, like things like the hunters and stuff like that, they carry over to the other characters. And so, yeah, I don't know, Mick. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm on Xbox, so I'm trying. I don't know because I haven't done it. And so I was just thinking about it today, but that's what I want to do. So if anybody's got some tips, you know, if you can send me a direct message or whatever, or maybe comment in the actual comment section of the stream, so that I can read it later, because I won't have time to dig through it during chat here. Gory, appreciate you, man. Oh, congratulations, whoever got that. Oh, crazy, you got it. Bunny's in the house too. Welcome, crazy. Yeah, okay, somebody else was talking about family accounts. 10 free family accounts. So I can basically, I don't have to buy the Division 2 again. I could just create another one. All right. Congrats, honey. Appreciate you, Gory. Thanks for kicking in, man. TGIF. TGIF. Let's get honey that skull. It's cool, man. It's cool. You should go on and check out the Players Club channel if you just got awarded a membership. It's at the top of my YouTube homepage, and you can check out what goodies are there. Some stuff you can access and some stuff you won't be able to, depending on what level you are. Different members get different level perks, so something to explore. Yeah, cool. Okay, I appreciate that, man. I'll have to dig into that a little bit more. But yeah, make another gamer tag. I don't mind doing that and just kind of logging in, switching accounts or whatever. Yeah, okay. But I just, you know, I've already had to buy the game twice, and I know it's not super expensive, but it's kind of annoying to have to buy it again, like a third time. So, you know, whatever. But I want to start a series from the ground up and just kind of do like a gameplay walkthrough, and then just kind of chunk it out, like day 1, day 2, day 300, I guess. But do it as efficient as possible. Just like play straight through in the most direct path to level 40. You know, there's a lot to uncover in the game lore-wise and explore. But the reality is there is a path that you're taking, and those things are uncovered along the way, and they don't all have to be uncovered before you get to level 40. Tux Redux. Ooh, I might just use that. Tux in the Speedo. Hey man, if I could run a Speedo out here, I would. Okay, so, let me introduce you to today's challenge. It's a challenge and it's a build. I appreciate you, Mick. And so before we ran the Ninja Sniper build, remember that one where we were running 100% weapon handling? Well, I got a new one for you today. Today it's 115% weapon handling on a sniper build. So this is a build. It works twofold. Okay, so it's a build for if you're not proficient at sniping. So if you want to get good at sniping, and there's some things about sniping in the Division 2 that are in your way of mastering it, then this type of build is going to be really helpful for you. And yes, it's strong enough to chain kill. So that's the good news. So we got 115% headshot, 115% weapon handling, and we're chain killing. That's crazy. So before we created one that had 100% weapon handling, and this was just a little bit of a modification to that. And we'll talk about some of that stuff later. But so this works for two players, so two types of players. So it's one, the newer player, or the player that's not proficient at sniping or wants to get better at it. And then it's also for the really advanced sniper. So it's for both of those people, because for the advanced sniper, it allows you to push the limits of your sniping. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. And so for me, what I'm going to do is basically run and gun with the Mantis. Right, and it's not going to be perfect because I don't have my my what do you call it, controller tuned, because I usually have it. Well, it's tuned technically to my Elite controller, which broke. So, you know, it'll take me a couple of minutes to get used to it. But once I do, then we'll get the ball rolling and kill everything. Basically point blank. And do you have to play that way? Absolutely no. But it's just, you know, when you've been playing the game and your SHD 12,500 blah, 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 and how many hours I have into this game, that's what you do. You know what I mean? You go run up the summit with all directives on Legendary. That's what you do. You run 5 directives. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You run and gun with your sniper. You run a bunch of armor and you know, because you can. You know what I mean? You just experiment with shit because it's fun. It's really fun. So the build's not perfect yet. I want a new pair of gloves and I just haven't got them. Okay, let me walk you through the build. So first, let's start with the stats, okay? So I'm showing 145% stability. That matters. The reload time is 1.4 seconds. Also matters, right? So it's 130% reload speed bonus going on there. So our weapon handling is it's showing 110%. That's because of the weapon in my hand. But if we decide to switch to the other one, we're at 115%. Now, I'm still figuring out if that's the actual cap. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there's another sniper out there that'll allow me to put on an actual weapon handling mod better than the one I have. So I got, this one's 5% more because it allows for a 5% weapon handling scope. So that's the difference between this and the Mantis. And then the TAC 50s at 110. And then back to here. So as far as headshot damage goes, because that matters, we're at 225, so that's pretty healthy. So basically this is weapon handling and headshot damage. And that's what's rolled onto everything. And then we can experiment with this more, but I just wanted to start there. So the Mantis is just a badass sniper. For one, it's gonna get buffed next season if everything goes as planned. Currently in the PTS notes, this is getting a 30% increase to the base weapon damage. Huge. That's huge. Okay, it's already got damage to targets out of cover, 111% headshot damage. Look at the accuracy and stability. I mean, the build, right? And so what we're looking, it gives you amplified damage, okay? It shows you weak points. You can see in the dark. All of that's helpful. But it's the unlimited decoys that make this really powerful and appealing. It's like one of the few snipers that's really appealing over Determined, because we know Determined is just clutch, right? And so that's also why I wanted to run this build, because it dismisses Determined. Like, you don't need Determined. You can, and it is helpful. It does allow you to play faster, but with this much weapon handling, you know, you're sort of challenged to not run Determined, right? And so on my high-end sniper, the Covert SRS, which is my favorite sniper. So this is the same weapon. Can you tell? This is the same weapon, okay? So this is just the non-exotic version. And I love it because I love the Mantis, so I knew I would love the SRS. And the Covert version is just a shorter barrel, under barrel one, and there's one with the longer under barrel. But I got magazine size here, so that's one extra kill, basically. And then 1.3 second reload, so it's a little bit faster, but I'm running preservation on this one, so this one's gonna give us 20% armor on kill. So this one, I'm gonna toggle between them and see which one I like better, but this is gonna keep damage off of your back. This is gonna help you recover faster, you see? So that's one thing that the other build, the 100% weapon handling build that we ran, had basically more survivability because it also had armor on kill. I think we were running 20% armor on kill on that one, if I remember right. Something like that. So this one, I removed the armor on kill and put up more weapon handling, just because I wanted to try it with the Mantis. And the Mantis technically works on both of them, but you know, testing. So it's centered on the NinjaBike. So some of this stuff is actually covered in that tips video, that 101 tips. So there's some things, tidbits in here, some nuggets in here that will translate if you watch that video. It's pinned in the chat. So we got 3 core attributes. A headshot damage, but the NinjaBike backpack unlocks another brand bonus attribute or gear set. And the deal is that if you're looking for more damage, the NinjaBike backpack is not usually the best path. It's rare that it is. There's like 1 or 2 builds that I've seen it actually unlock more damage. One of them was the SVD. But the reality is that it's an amazing, and I mean like godly backpack, if your build already has substantial damage. So if you're already running like a striker build or like a Hunter's Fury, or your weapon is just really strong, like the 1886 or the White Death, or it's a sniper of any class, basically, then the NinjaBike backpack is absolutely an amazing option. Don't let people tell you different, okay? If the build already has the base damage beyond effective or effective, okay, then toy around with the backpack, add more utility, add faster reloads, add more shots on target, add more armor on kill, whatever you're looking for your build. Just depends on your play style, right? So anyways, that being said, snipers have so much damage, they have enough to one-shot kill, that we got room to play with the utility. And in this case, I'm peeking out weapon handling. So we're running, which is critical here, hot shot mask, 1 piece, which is really 2 because of the backpack. So we get the 30% marksman, 30% weapon handling. So I'm really after the handling there. And then stats wise, I got handling and headshot damage and weapon damage. Now the chest piece is Petrov because that's opening up that second weapon handling stat there at 10%. And then we got more of the same stats. And of course, Headhunter, which is carrying most of the damage on the build, which is why all of this works. Headhunter is a beast on any weapon, just a beast. All right, we're running 1 piece striker. That's giving us 15% weapon handling because of the ninja, and I got more weapon handling. So everything's gonna have weapon handling on it. And then we're running 2 pieces of Heartbreaker, which is not super efficient, but I'm testing this. And so, weapon damage and weapon handling, so that's giving us 15% weapon handling. And then here's my other one. It's not perfect. I actually want to take off that armor core, but I just haven't been able to craft one, so this was crafted. Anyways, weapon handling. So we got 1.1 million armor, which isn't bad. I don't mind it, but yeah. So I got the decoy. We're gonna have unlimited one of those, and then I have just a fixer, which is our only source of heals unless we decide to use the other weapon. The TAC 50, once we get ammo, will be very, very helpful for us. It's gonna allow us to play faster. So I'm ready to all 5 directives. So I'm not sure which directives they are. Let me see. We got pistolero, special ammo. That's gonna hurt. Cool skills, not a problem. That's why the Mantis is a beast, because it overrides cool skills. We'll lose it at first, but whatever. Hey, over here. Where are you? Why can't I see you? There you are. Come here, medic. There it is. Okay. Just kick this off. So we got a free decoy. Notice it came directly back. So the decoy is going to be king here. Decoys are survivability. There's some shots like in the very beginning that don't like chain kill efficiently. That's why one of the reasons why I want to get rid of that red core. But also once we get the TAC 50, then that won't be an issue because we're hitting that 15 million. So we just need our access to our TAC 50. The Nemesis would do it too, but of course we don't have the ability to run 2 exotics, but this is amazing. So unlimited decoys, and once I kind of get the hang of things, we're gonna be running and gunning too, so I'm just kind of feeling it out, learning what I can and cannot do. So here's a boss. There's always people coming in from the back, right? Come here, dude. Ooh, is it Brazos today in the territory? Ooh, it is. Good territory. Good farm day. We've been farming Brazos out there, right? Who we shooting out, folks? Who we shooting at? Oh, that hit his hand. Which is why I like Determined. That hand shit is bullshit. You know, you hit their hand like when it's in front of their face. Number one reason why Determined is one of my favorite things. It's because that stupid hand thing.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Okay, where are they coming from? There they are. Don't let him melee you. The rushers ignore decoys a lot. Sometimes they catch the decoy, but a lot of times they'll run right through it. That's a rusher's special ability, really. Is that they can bypass the decoy. Feels good. I just wish I had a tighter controller. I really do. I need to. And I know it's always on sale, the Elite controller, but the way the Xbox stuff, like the way that they market their products, I'm not a fan of it. Is anybody else like that? They make things like really confusing. And I'm a pretty savvy shopper. You know what I mean? I read reviews, blah, blah, blah. But they like, so they have like versions of things, like so many versions of things. So they have the Elite. And so the one that I had was the Elite Series 2. And it was like a full kit, right? Where it came with the charger and all that stuff. And then they ended up modifying it so that, I don't know, there's versions of it now. There's with different names, but it's still called the Elite 2. And it's like, are you the Elite 2 or not? Uh-oh. Goddamn turret. It's called like Elite Series 2 / hyphen something. And it's like, what? Is it the same thing or not? Yeah, the bumper went bad. Exactly. And I tried taking it apart and doing some of the fixes that other people recommended. And it like worked for a day, like the fixes, and then it just got worse again. It didn't work. Oops, wrong gun. So that's basically what I want to do, is what you just saw there. That's how I want to play with this gun, is run and gun. And I mean, not literally run, you kind of got to slow down a little bit because the game really punishes you for moving with a sniper. So it's sort of like you're becoming accustomed to the system, as you can see, and he's like punishing me over here. You kind of like learning how they punish you and using that to land some of your shots. But so if the one thing you can't do is many times you can do it, but so I don't want to overstate that. But what you want to minimize is taking damage while you're shooting because of the body flinch. There's no way around body flinch. And it sucks. It sucks. There's a way around weapon sway, and we've countered it. So weapon sway is a thing in this game, and not many people are familiar with that. But it's worse on some weapons, like when you're kicking off the fight with like the TAC 50 or the Mantis or the White Death. You'll notice, you know, when you're trying to take that first target, first blood shot, that, you know, the target's head is moving a little bit because they're trying to be human. And then your weapon is swaying too. And so you're trying to get those two things to line up, right? And, you know, it can be challenging. But you can eliminate your sway through handling. And so if you look here, there's no sway on my rifle. You see that? No sway. Now, I featured that in the tips video, so that's also in there, a side-by-side comparison of what this looks like with sway. And without. Did we get everybody? Pretty sure we did. God, I feel like they're growing on trees at this stage. There's a guy way over there. Yeah, so weapon sway, I'm not sure it's cataloged in the game. Isn't that weird? That you can counter it, yet it's not cataloged? Like, if you read a weapon handling description, correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody's seen it, let me know. And maybe if you have a link, that'd be great. What's up, serial killer? X? Ex serial killer. Once a serial killer, always a serial killer. So like, but nobody, it's never listed. Nobody ever talks about it. Ugh, look at that. It's perfectly God rolled, grown great. That gun's just no good. I'm sorry. But it's a thing. And one day we figured it out like, oh shit. There is, I mean, we always knew the weapon sway was there, but never knew you could counter it. And you can. Yeah, is that what it is, King? Without, that's the difference between the two, because it's cheaper, and I'm just wondering if it's completely compatible, because I have all the accessories, they all work. And so I was like, I'll take the cheaper one, and then if I can, if it's compatible, you know. But what would suck is if you get it, and then all of a sudden, like, none of the accessories work. It won't charge. You know what I mean? It's like, oh. Yeah, it's in the, oops, I didn't mean to shoot. It's in the, pinned at the chat, yeah. Yeah. Basically, I just demonstrated that you can counter it. But the farther the target is away from you, then obviously the more of a problem weapon sway is. Because it's when you're holding steady, trying to acquire the target is when it's a problem, not when you're shooting. I mean, at the moment you shoot it, it is. So far so good, but as you can see, the trouble is that we can kill faster than we can heal. And if you're one of those that is a fan of armor kits, and that's cool, but I'm never a fan of armor kits. Because, you know, they take so long. Maybe in the new system though, right? Maybe in the new system. All right, let's do this. Oh, we got TAC 50 ammo now. So now that we have TAC 50 ammo, things go faster. So what we can do is acquire our first kill and then switch over to the Mantis and carry the damage from the TAC 50, which is the strongest sniper in the game, over to this via headhunter. And then via or via, how do you guys say it? And then we'll just slaughter everything. And if we need to, we'll switch back to the TAC 50 again, except for bosses, because bosses aren't really effective to kill with the TAC 50. But so basically, by doing that, you're eliminating a kill required to peek out your headhunter. So your damage doesn't really change, but you get to that peak faster. And so you're top performance, basically. A little too close. Really? Come here, sir. Twitch a lot. And as you can see, every headshot kill you get gives you 2 to your progress bar for special ammo. Oh, that was a headshot. And they didn't give it to me. Oops, that was a waste. Ah. Keep dancing, lady. You suck. Oh my god. Oh, there goes my ammo. This lady is the worst on the planet. She makes me miss so much. Why? Why? Hurry. God, the armor kit sucks too. There we go. That was painful.
Hostile supply convoy nearby.
So after your first kill, notice how easy the kills come. So that's headhunter. A lot of people don't realize that. So once it's all about your first kill. Once you get your first kill, everything becomes easier. So there's a hidden buff. Again, not listed, never talked about. I feel like I'm the only one that talks about it. Makes me feel like I'm imagining it. But I'm not. I'm not. If you guys use Headhunter a lot, any user of Headhunter probably realizes that. But yeah, so it basically your weapon handling really tightens up once you have Headhunter active. And then they also give you, they're more graceful on your shots, so they'll give you credit for it if it's close. I don't know how close. I've never tested that or anything like that, but I'll be like, oh, they gave me that one. How nice of the game, you know? Maybe it landed, maybe it didn't. I mean, it's got to be really close. It's got to be really close, but. See that? So his hands are in his face, and I got screwed. And so one of my biggest pet peeves in this game. Ooh, what happened there? That's hitting a little short. A little short. So that was only 8.8 million. I want that at 9.8. I mean, if we find that Heartbreaker piece, that might do the trick, but the gloves, or we just get rid of Heartbreaker altogether. Oh. Ah, you fucking dick. Keep dying when you're trying to do high-end. I mean, most of it's learning. I mean, what makes us experienced players look good is that it's really that earned. I mean, it's sad to say that it's really the earned situational awareness, right? So it's a big deal in this game, situational awareness, and just the, you know, people that come with it, and I'm sure you have it, really good situational awareness where, you know, you're aware of where all the enemies are in proximity to where you are, who's rushing, you know that there's a sniper in the corner, you know, all this stuff is, you're tracking in your mind, right? An ally goes down, or you're about to get another wave, you know, that's coming, but some of it is earned through clocking in the hours of the game and playing this control point over and over. So I know that this is a major spawn point. There's a door on the left and a door on the right, and there's a good chance that they're going to come out of that at some point. And so part of my survival strategy is fighting in this zone. Now, I think we're a little late. Have I killed the first boss yet? I can't remember. Are we neutralizing hostiles? So we're still taking over. So we haven't got to that part yet, but so I know when I kill all these guys that there's a good chance that the next wave is going to come out of that room. And so if I'm thinking about it correctly, then I will fight around there, or as soon as I kill him, I'll quickly run over there as fast as possible. So like right now. And so there still might be NPCs alive, but so they're either can come from here. Yep, there they are. See, they come right out. So I'm ready for them. And so what happens is you catch them off guard and you keep them from basically setting up. Let me switch real quick. Let's speed this thing up. There we go. And then they came again. Oh, this guy. So what's holding me back is I need more armor on kill, because you're just gonna take damage. And so, but it's slowing me down because I have to play a little bit more cautious when my armor goes down. So that's what I need to fix. You should check out that video if you haven't already, though, Jamie. But that's a lot of it is just, you know, doing a lot of open world stuff, especially. The open world stuff is more difficult. And just kind of paying attention to the spawns and then how many. Ooh, she just glitched right in my scope. I saw that. Hey, so remember the other day, or the million of times that I've mentioned it, how the enemies shoot through walls? You ever had that hunch? So when I was recording yesterday, I was just kind of running by a random hostage situation. And they saw me, and so they started shooting at me. But I was like, when they started shooting at me, I was like basically down this hallway and around the corner. And I was still taking damage. I was like, what the? I was like, who's shooting me? And I looked around, there was nobody, because there, you know, I was like, they would have had to been right behind me in order to shoot me, like on my heels, because it was this tight little hallway, right? And then I stopped and I just stood there for a while and was watching the bullets come through the wall completely. Like it was no, I wonder, I think these bullets were coming straight through the wall. And I recorded it. I got it on recording, so I captured it. I was like, I knew it. I felt immediate gratification. Yeah. Oh, fuckers. Dizzy. Immediate gratification. So with the amount of killing that we do, we should be getting rewarded in heals for it. So we're gonna have to fix that. So let's switch over to the preservation now. I'm not relying on my decoys so much anyways, because we're killing so fast. So let's see if this works. So we're gonna go no scope now. Yeah, so it was crazy, man. I mean, the bullets were just flying through this cover and hitting me. It wasn't just a visual glitch. They were actually hitting me. You know? It was insane. So now we're getting 20% armor on kill because every headshot is helping us with that. But it's armor on kill over, what is it, 5 seconds? So it's not, it kind of works like regen, but because we don't have heals, so either I can get rid of weapon handling on the build and add in some heals, and stick with the mantis and then get the decoy also, or just switch over to this, which I kind of like either way. Or do both. We can use this plus more armor on kill and get like 40% armor on kill or something, you know? If we run this, I can put on the Nemesis too, and that's helpful against named bosses. Shoots like a fucking laser though, gotta say. Gotta say it. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a video on some of these glitches, and the point of the glitches video is, you know, it's for the devs. Some of it's for the devs, but whether they, you know, but a lot of it's for the player base. There's a point. It's just like, I was having this conversation with you guys the other day on stream where, you know, we have these meta builds and they're really good, right? All red strikers, you know, we use them in the incursion, you know, these kind of builds. And one of my arguments is like, is it really good in heroic? It's sort of not, you know? And this comment does depend on your gameplay style. So if you're always playing from cover, then yeah, it's fine. But if you're really aggressive and out of cover, there's just too many things in the game that makes that build sort of not a good one to run in heroic. Now, if you have a team with a healer, then of course, or some sort of special backpack, like backup, like Riot Foam. But if you're running solo and you're running like the meta striker build, you got way too much damage, but not enough survivability. And what ends up happening is it requires perfect gameplay. We all have those moments, but nobody's actually perfect. And more importantly, neither is the game, apparently, right? And so that's why the build isn't really viable, because the game doesn't let it be viable, you know? So you're gonna survive, and I ran it and I recorded like an hour's worth of gameplay just running it. And I went down on average once per control point, you know, and I have pretty good survivability in this game. You know, I'm doing better than that with the sniper, right? And so, I mean, we went down, but not on every control point. So it's just like, and it's not about it being a good build or not. It's an amazing build. I love that build, but it's just not really viable in solo heroic content, or just, you know, that aggressive playstyle in heroic. But because in like legendary or raids, those are sort of special circumstances where you got some sort of support that's helping you run that build, you know, and some people don't mind dying, and so they say it works, and so the definition of it works might be different for you than for me, right? For me, it's just like, yeah, I'm used to not dying. You know what I mean? And feeling strong at the same time, you know what I mean? And so, like, how hard is it just to take the same build and slap on the memento? I mean, you're unkillable, really. You know, the memento just does so much for you. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. That's the game changer right there. Take the same build, throw on a memento. It's that fucking easy to turn a build that's really not that great into something pretty damn amazing. Now, that build is amazing outside of solo heroic though, right? And so again, it's part of that whole, I don't really subscribe to the single build theory. One build rules them all. A lot of people do though. A lot of people do. They run it in raids, they run it in legendaries. It's their own build, it's their favorite build. They ask that question, why would I run anything else? It's the strongest DPS gun, it's the strongest DPS build. Why would I run anything else? That's their logic. They're not wrong and they're not right. You know what I mean? I have plenty of reasons why I would run in everything else, run in something else. It's because it doesn't give you the same level of survivability in heroic. You got less. You're killing fast, but it requires perfect gameplay, and it requires the game to be perfect as well. And when they're shooting through walls, or when there's some sort of bullshit that they do, like the cartwheel that they decide to cancel halfway through, that kind of shit, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, man, you just forced a reload on me, right? Because I missed all those shots, and so now I have to reload. You forced that reload on me. There's no contingency in the build for that. There's no contingency in the build for that. And so it's an amazing build. Now, if you're playing from cover like this, then none of these things are that big of a deal, right? It is probably your meta, and that's cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. But if you're an aggressive gameplay style or really advanced, and so you push yourself more, then these builds are really, they're actually weaker. They actually take longer to clear content. The strongest build in the game takes longer for me to clear content than with something that has more armor and the memento on it. The same build, though, you know what I mean? So I'll take the Ouroboros, 4 pieces of striker, and slap on the memento backpack and a little bit of armor or a lot of armor. I can run all armor cores and feel like a goddamn god. My time to kill is lickety split, and I'm picking up basically, what is it, like 1.3 million in bonus armor with a single trophy or some shit like that. And we're chain killing basically with their Ouroboros. So it's like we're running around with like crazy 5 million in armor at times, you know, and great regen. You know what I mean? And so that's a better build, and I literally would use the word better. And again, the distinguisher is your playstyle, you know? It's better for that playstyle. And so there's so many people that don't play that way. So that's why, you know what I mean? So that's why, you know, I'm one of those. I leave room for the discussion or for the possibility that you don't play my way, right? And those, some of the people that are swear or pump up those builds a lot, they're not leaving room for that. They're just flat out saying it's the best build in the game, you know, the way that they're running it. But it's just like, well, what if you're this playstyle and playing on this content? Is it still the best? And the answer is no, it's absolutely not, you know? And so there's way more to it, you know? Way more to it. I think I've done that, Larry. I think I have the pieces too. It is pretty good. The trouble is, with Foundry, and it's a great one, and we will be running that one. But the downside of it is that, so you got an extremely, this is the hard part about this build, right? Is that you got an extremely fast time to kill. You can clear content extremely fast with it. So why is that a problem? It's because if you want to clear content as fast as you can, then your time to heal has to be as fast. And so that's where this build is currently failing, right? And so the preservation helped, and so I think that is the better option. So I'm actually gonna switch that to my primary. But I think what we're gonna wanna do is get rid of the Heartbreaker pieces and replace those with more armor on kill, because you want big chunks to come back. So that way, because usually, look, there's a lot of times where I know and I'm accepting and I'm willing to take damage. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. I'm like, yeah, I'll take damage because I know I'm going to get that kill. You know, I know I'm going to get that kill. And so I'm like, yeah, go ahead and shoot me, but I'm going to shoot you and you're going to die with a single bullet. And, you know, and you're going to damage me, but because I killed you, I'm going to get my heals back. I'm going to get my life back, right? And then move, and then I'm going to reapply, rinse and repeat on the next guy. 1 second, I got to turn off my heater. Oh, right on, Sebastian, man. That's cool, man. I'm always looking for people that play like me. Hey, what up, Grumps? How's it going, bro? Yeah, I'm looking forward to Foundry, and so I think I'll probably reserve that. Who was that made that suggestion? Sebastian. Oh, no, it was, who was that just made that suggestion? Larry. Yeah, I am planning. That's going to be on the farm list. And so I'm going to be making a list for you guys like right after Christmas, because I'm going to be out of town. So I'm leaving town tomorrow. And then I won't be back probably until whatever the next day after Christmas. But that's one of the things I'm going to go after is that shopping list. And Foundry is definitely going to be on it from a skill perspective and then from a tank DPS perspective. But as a tank build, you know, it's obvious. It'll be good. I don't really put out too many just flat out tank builds. It's not my play style. It's not that it's bad. They're absolutely great builds, but I don't use them. And you know, they're kind of boring for me. I'm not a big advocate of them. They're kind of specialty builds. The reality is I think, in my opinion, is like the only place that they really have in the game is raids. That's just totally an opinion. I'm not right, okay? But I just think that's the only place that they have in the game. From my perspective, and that I don't even think they're good in legendary. I mean, they have their moments in legendary, like maybe the final bosses at the zoo is a good place to run. I have one tank build with, you know, just shoving this pistol in the gut of those bosses, those other heavies. But otherwise, tanks, I mean, I'd rather have an Eclipse player or an ongoing directive or a true Patriot player buffing the team as a team support guy. It's not that tanks don't work. It's just that it's a slower way to complete that content, you know, with the tank. And the tank can't be, it really comes down to the player too, but the tank can't be at all places. So he's taking and pulling aggro from maybe the dudes in the front, but we're also getting flanked. You know what I mean? So he just can't be everywhere. And so where Riot Foam can be, you know what I mean? Or the extra damage from ongoing directive can be, you know, it can be everywhere. True Patriot as well, right? So skill builds can be really helpful because they pull aggro away from you. Probably better than a tank, wouldn't you guys say? I mean, don't skill builds do better than a tank when it comes to pulling aggro, and they put out damage too? You know, so I just like that. And now I like hybrid tanks, you know, tank DPS builds or tank healers. And I like giving bonus armor with tanks. So it's not like I don't like the concepts. It's just like, you know, a true Foundry Bulwark Shield tank. It's just not really that helpful. Honestly, I'd rather have an Eclipse player because of what we deal with in the Tusk. You know what I mean? what we deal with the Tusk. A lot of it is tech explosives. And so if we can disable those, a nice demolisher, Firefly will work for me, you know? Yeah, it does work pretty good with the shield. Yeah, because your shield heals. But I mean, imagine a Catharsis Foundry tank DPS build, you know? Now, the other part is that Heartbreaker is going to give you damage and heals. And so I think the Heartbreaker is the better tank DPS build in Foundry. But if you feel like you need that more survivability for your shield, then Foundry is going to be the way to go. But Heartbreaker provides an extra shield to your backside, right? The blue shield. So that's always cool. Yeah. So it'll be fun to toy around with and, you know, just to play. I think so, Lord. I mean, this isn't optimized to next gen, but I'm not a super tech PC tech guy. I think somebody else would have to answer that. Do you guys have any insight on whether a 4600 GPU could run this game for Lord? I play on the Xbox, so I don't have to worry about my specs. That's one of the reasons why I do it. So I just don't have to worry about that. I know. Lazy gaming. I got so many other things to deal with. What up, Dark Angel? Why a lot of people bring up the SR1, and I'm wondering what am I missing? I'm running the SRS, and every time they say the SR1, oh, there we go. It is that one. That's an amazing gun. It is. It's not. It's. So I did this whole sniper. I went through all the snipers and figured them all out. It's an amazing gun. It's up there, like with the hunting and the M44 classes. So it's not as strong, but it's like right behind them. And with the additional mods, it's a really good gun. High base damage, basically at 1,000,000 with the other ones too. It's a good one. The reload is good. It's just not my preferred. It's just not my, you know, I've tried them all and you just kind of, some you gravitate to, some you don't. And this one I like is because it's agile. If I'm going for the heavy hitters, the custom M44 is an amazing one and I never use it. And then the classic, of course, which is the White Death. And then the hunting. So all the M44s are nice. Oh, I did, Lord. Yeah, I was asking for some other insights from the other players, because I'm on Xbox, so I don't really have good insight for you there. But I was saying that the game is quite old, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did work. It's not all beefed up, so I don't think your PCU would have to be. From Holland, welcome. Okay, so we can run a Bellstone, right? So a Bellstone and an Uzina, and that'll push in some armor regen and armor on kill, getting that to 20. And now we're gonna lose 15% weapon handling, but what we're gonna get back is more slots, and therefore give us some more headshot damage too. So I think we end up more powerful this way. Let's see in the end. So we'll put Uzina down there. We'll run the Brazos up here. I'm not sure which one's better, but it won't matter. Cool. So we got 1% armor regen, 20% armor on kill, and then we picked up more armor. And then I lost an armor core, but I'm okay with that because we got a bunch of armor on kill now. And so I'm going to stick with this one. So let's see where we got. We have 194% headshot damage, and then we're at 100% weapon handling, basically. So I'm running magazine size. I'm going to go ahead and swap this because I reload a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back to damage to targets out of cover. And that's because I want to make sure that we're getting the power that we need to be successful. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with preservation. The idea is to bypass determined because we don't need it with all that handling. And instead, we're going to take this godliness. All right. And then weapon handling, stability, and then extra 5 rounds, And now we got that multiplier, damage to targets out of cover, which we didn't have before. And then preservation. So again, and then we'll continue to try the mantis as well. Now that we have armor on kill on the build, we could probably skip the mantis. Now, one way to make this build even better is actually putting brazos on the chest, okay? And so if we put bellstone on the chest. So if we run bellstone on the chest, which is the same, except it's got an armor core, then I can put the contractor's gloves on, lose a little bit of headshot damage, but that's okay. Instead, I'm gonna pick up damage to armor, which is a multiplier. So now I have both multipliers. The build just got stronger for all weapons, including the TAC 50. So remember, the TAC 50 is not a sniper, so it doesn't benefit from hot shot. It doesn't benefit from anything that says marksman rifle damage, basically. So it'll take weapon damage, and it'll take multipliers and amplify damage and all that other stuff. So headshot damage too. So this is better to run here, and then we pick up the double multipliers. The other multiplier we picked up is right there. So. And no, I wouldn't run foxes on this build. I'm not that interested in. Let's see where we run into chest. Okay. So if we end up with overkill, what I would do is basically put on protection from elite mods. Yeah, that's a good build there. Storage is great. 2 Belsa and 1 Habs. Storage is amazing. Remember though, once you have your headshot kill, a lot of people forget this detail. So once you get your headshot kill with Headhunter, you don't need Sawyer's damage anymore. So you can move.
Identified.
But I mean, not that you have to, but you can move, cover to cover, go move to a different piece of cover, whatever you're gonna do. Not worry about it. Do we have ammo? No. Okay, so we don't got a lot of ammo. So that's the current setup of the build. And again, weapon handling wise, we're at 90, 100. I just don't have somewhere there's not a perfect stat. This might be pretty close to that original Ninja build. So if we get this kill, that'll be nice. Ooh, we're just shy, 96.68. So if I get rid of that armor core somehow.
Reinforcements incoming.
That one critted, so we got the damage there. Gonna hit that. Oh, that was not a headshot. Starting again. Let's do this. Oh, there's a heavy gunner. Really? 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 That's a bulletproof fence. Double turrets, wow. Nice move, come on. That was bullshit, right? All right, let's try again. There we go. Those are my turrets now. See how I accepted that damage so that I could be patient with my shot. He just deleted. Did you see that? That's how you delete an enemy. He straight up deleted, man. There's no body there. Oh, this game is on something, man. It is on something. It's got me feeling like it's on shrooms. It's an LSD trip, this game. It's been like that. Okay, so we're getting low on ammo. I better switch it over to the pistol. Ah.
They're almost on me.
Got my ammo. Got out of jail too. All right, there's more something. Loot. Hey, there it is. You're fucking with my emotions, man. You're messing with my whole Zen thing. Serpentine! Serpentine! Ah,
Serious trauma detected.
the special ammo hurt. That serpentine didn't work. Oh, X cereal. I'm looking for really all of them, but double crits. Look, think about the capacitor. That's the biggest draw for me right now on that. I mean, there could be some other hybrid things, but right now I think the biggest draw is the making a really strong hybrid capacitor build. One of the things that the capacitor does well, besides obviously its skill tier thing, is crits. Right, it's got really good crit mods. It's basically the St. Elmo's of an assault rifle for skills. It's like an equivalent. If you look at its mods, they're really strong. The other thing is the mechanical animal and the scalpel. Those are the other weapons we're gonna be looking at with the Brazos set. I mean, there'll be others, but those are the main ones. So the mechanical animal is getting a buff, and so is the scalpel. So what we're looking at is basically very high damage or a damage tank. I think things like the 3-3 combos, you know, where you got three blue cores, 3 skill tiers, or, you know, something like that. It'll technically be 3 blue cores, 3 red cores, and 6 skill tiers. That's the build that we'll be looking for with those future buffs that are coming to mechanical animal and the scalpel. So that means we're looking for some with headshot damage and weapon handling. Headshot damage and skill damage will be key. Crits and skill damage, all crits, and that's basically it. That's basically it.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Oh, sneaky bastard. Oh, don't get right phoned. No. Don't do that. You do not want to get right phoned, man. That's a meal ticket to the pine box. There you go. Watch this. You like that? I called that motherfucker. That's like Babe Ruth pointing at center field. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, that was amazing. I'm not boasting, I'm just saying. I had confidence in the build. I don't know if you saw it, but that was a blind fire headshot. And that's without determined. So there's no determined. But the weapon handling is so clutch that you can. We need ammo. We're getting tight. Let's switch over to our pistol. Ooh, hit some sort of speed bump in the game. So the TAC 50 gets really stable too, by the way. Come here, buddy. It's normally got a little bit of a sway to it, so it's nice not having it. So 9,600 or just a little short. So we need to find that damage somewhere. We will. It's gonna come off the chest piece. There's the option for mods too.
Hostiles guarding location nearby. Hostile
She made me miss. Do you see that? Oh. I wanted to see what the TAC 50 would do against him. It's just so weak against named bosses. It's sad. I feel like it should be the opposite, you know? It should be stronger against named bosses, don't you guys think? Evan, sort of.
Hostile supply convoy nearby.
I mean, they work together, you know what I mean? But yeah, you can interchange to some degree and you will see slight differences. No matter what though, is that you're gonna need 150% headshot damage. So that's one thing. More. Over here. 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 Yeah, baby, that's weapon handling. That was badass, I gotta say. The whole series was pretty dope. This is a good build. We just for efficiency's sake, I just want to find basically 200,000 more in damage, which shouldn't be too hard. I mean, we can look at getting rid of Uzina or something. We'll figure that out. Yeah, I know. That's a good way to survive though, man. It really is. Spawn camping, man. It's key to clearing content quickly. I'm telling you. Don't let them out of their hole. Is the other way to say it, right? Just don't let these fuckers out of their hole. Yeah, or like really, everything just kind of, OBS just kind of froze up. It's annoying. It has to do with his record capabilities. It's like, just, it impacts the internet for some reason. It shouldn't do that. Coming through OBS, you know. I think it's the same one, right? You should see me here. Yeah, I think it reconnected. Yeah, I think luckily it reconnected. Sorry about that. That was a hassle. And I'm still showing like bumpy internet speed, so I'm just gonna kick back for a second here and let it figure itself out. Yeah, that sucks because there's no patch for it right now, and so I don't know what the issue is. I downloaded the latest version, and it's just been a thing for the last couple of weeks. I thought the latest version would fix that, but it's reading low connection right now though, like internet speeds, and it's fluctuating a little bit, and that's bugging me. And I think I lost all that data too. Let's see what happened. Okay, yeah, I kept the data, so it's good. All right, let's head back to the base. We're looking for a little bit more damage, so easy peasy. Yeah, let me kill one of these little feeds here. See if that's helping. Let me know if you guys experience any lag or anything like that right now. Yeah, piece of shit wristwatch. That's how I feel. Because it's kind of stumping me, you know what I mean? Like, because when you don't see your connection, like my internet's strong, so it's not actually my internet, right? It's once it hits OBS, OBS is doing something to it to cause its, you know, bits per second to slow. And so, you know, why? I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's sort of like, it's annoying because you don't know what's going to happen until you start streaming. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and so the only way to fix it is to shut OBS down. Is it a bit choppy? Okay, then the only way to fix it is for me to shut OBS down and to restart it. So let me do that. Give me another minute. It's going to be a minute here, and stay in the chat. I'll just drop a new link. All right, stay in the chat. So if you're on Twitch, you don't have to worry about anything. Sorry, guys. Well, good news, it looks like we reconnected. Yeah, so that was it. Okay, we're good. Now we're good. On my end, it's showing green, so. Okay. Reconnected strong. So that's convenient when it reconnects. It doesn't always do that. So sometimes it closes the stream out completely, and then I have to start a new stream and send links and blah, blah, blah. But okay, we're good. We're in the clear now. We have averted the trouble. All right, so we just need a little bit more damage. So there's a couple of ways to do it, but really we need it on this weapon. So the TAC 50, right? So we're at 2.5, which is already really strong. And so we have a blue core here that we could get rid of. We have, you know, we could drop a weapon handling stat and add 10% more headshot damage. That might be enough. We could swap out like the Inuzina Getica. What's our handling that right now? Now, yeah, so we're at the 100 mark. We could run to White Death. Obviously, that would fix the transfer, but I need it up front. What am I missing? What did we do last time? Maybe this wasn't here. Elia Lawrence, Allah. We are making a crazy build, I know. It's basically similar to the NinjaBike, the Ninja Sniper build we created a couple seasons ago. And this is kind of rooting from, in the 101 tips video, I created a 115% headshot damage build. And it worked like a dream. The downside is that we were killing so fast, but we weren't healing as fast as our killing. And so that was slowing us down because I'd have to wait to heal up sometimes. And that changed my play style because I would go from aggressive to not aggressive. And that's kind of annoying. And so that's what I'm trying to fix. And now we got, while preserving my weapon handling. So because I'm playing out of cover, scopeless, 100% weapon handling is what we have on the build, which is crazy, right? Do I need that much? No, but I'm trying to preserve that stat as much as possible because I also want basically this build to work for new players and advanced players. And so for new players, the handling is going to help a lot as they get accustomed to sniping. Pashi, what up? Welcome in. I had some technical difficulties, so we sort of restarted the stream a few minutes ago. For everybody that's just not joining us, joining back. So if I put on another hot shot, I'll pick up 30% headshot damage, and that will fix it. Right? So I could lose, like through Xena, as an example, and put on one more hot shot, and then we'd have 30% armor on kill. But by doing that, we lose. No, that would work. That would work. Let's do that. Let's do that. And I'll explain why in a second. We could also put a Habsburg down there. But it's kind of the same thing. What I'm looking for, a hot shot, right? Yeah. And then we'll change out the weapon handling. Okay. And I'll explain why we're doing that in a second. Why hot shot? And so we could go with Habsburg, and then if we went with Habsburg, we'd get, do I have one here? 15% marksman rifle damage, and then 15% headshot damage. There we go, like that. So I could run this one. By doing that, we'd pick up an extra attribute slot, but which would give our TAC 50, is a weapon we're really concerned about, 25% more headshot damage. But as you can see, 30% headshot damage is going to apply to both, so it's kind of the same thing. And so it's kind of the same thing with the same amount of weapon handling. You see what I'm saying? So if we look at it from the primary weapon perspective, if we stuck with it, it'd get a good buff, right? Like the SRS is what I'm talking about. So it would get 15% headshot damage plus the 10% headshot damage attribute. So 25% headshot damage to the SRS plus 15% base damage. So that's a better for that weapon. But it's the TAC 50 that I'm really concerned about. And so the hotshot knee pads is going to put the full 30 to the TAC 50. And then the full 30% headshot damage. And either way, we're going to get the weapon handling either way. So so we'll try hot shots. And if we feel like the SRS is underpowered, then what we'll do is we'll go to the Habsburg. Which may have to go somewhere else. So that's what we're doing there. And so I thought about, well, we lost 10% armor on kill. What about survivability? So we still get the 1% armor regen plus 10% armor kill here. And then we're running this weapon, which is 20% armor on kill, basically always. So that's 30% armor on kill, and then the 1% regen. So that should be plenty for what we're doing. Now, then I started to think about, well, what about the players that are going to be in cover using the Mantis? Well, then the 10% armor on kill plus the 1% armor regen should be plenty because you're not taking as much damage. So there's still a few different ways you can play this. You could also run the Picaro's holster, pick up some skill tier, weapon damage that way too. I don't think we need that, but if we did, then that would help your fixer pull in some more constant heals. Yeah, it's a Frankenstein build for sure. Anything with the ninja is pretty Frankenstein. Get ready to see a lot of ninja builds, by the way. Let me reset this. Like next season is gonna be big ninja build. If you don't have the NinjaBike backpack, get to farming. All these things, the changes they're making, a lot of them are relying heavily on the NinjaBike to break into them, because we don't have the gear slots to go into 2 or 3 pieces, you know, and we're not going to do it so that we can get health. So I'm sure you guys are seeing a lot of the armor regen talks. I think maybe McGuns put one out this morning. I like McGuns stuff. Does anybody else like McGuns? He doesn't come around too much. He's like an old school Division 2 guy. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? He's got an accent. I'm not sure what kind of accent it is. I don't want to venture a guess, but I like his perspective. I feel like he's really honest and forthright, you know? So because I'm always kind of, I feel like putting up PTS builds and content around the PTS is a little sketchy sometimes because people are, not everybody is aware that the PTS is a test server and that it's not guaranteed and that, you know, and so when I see videos coming out with PTS builds like weeks later, it's sort of like, dude, you know what I mean? Like that's like, so I feel like it's a little misleading, you know? And so, but McGuns is like, he's like really forthright and he says, sorry, I was sick. And it was just like, it was a really good video. And I just, you know, nothing wrong with doing it, but you just got to be really clear. You know, I think it's sort of whack. Honestly, in general, I think it's sort of whack to create builds in the first place in the PTS and then publish a build video off of a PTS. I mean, that's not evergreen content whatsoever. So 6 weeks later, if you're watching that video, it's just like, this isn't helpful whatsoever and totally misleading. And you're gonna have questions and why is my build differently? I tried to make this. And you're like, oh, well, sorry, I didn't notice that little PTS emblem in the corner. I was shy. I didn't know I needed to pay attention to that. I don't even know what PTS stands for. Not everybody's like up to speed on like the latest game lingo. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so yeah, I'm not really a big fan of PTS content, but it's there. It needs to be tested. I like, you know, reviews of the changes. That's what it's for. You know, hey, I'm testing out this new assault rifle. What do you guys think? This is what I think, you know, but to come up with a build, you know, it's just like, why are you making build videos on PTS shit? Even if you do disclose that it's possibly going to change, it's sort of like, yeah, you know, people don't, this is a general public that's just not going to understand PTS stuff. Blasian, appreciate you, man. Welcome in. Or welcome back, I should say, to your gold school. So, that being said, anyways, I really like him being forthcoming about, you know, making a build video. But he's, you know, after the fact, but he was also just reviewing the changes too. So it wasn't for the sake of like, hey, look, here's a build, run this today kind of thing. It was like, hey, I'm reviewing the changes on Gila and the possibilities and what you can do with armor regen. And he said it differently, of course. And so that's really cool. That's what we need to see. That we need to see that. And anyways, it's really interesting. So it's, you know, and I'm interested to try it myself. So the 3-piece Gila and Golan, it's been on my list since they announced it. And so, and obviously I can't test it because I'm on console. But what's interesting is that the question is, am I gonna run it? Because I'm still wondering, like, wouldn't I still be better off with? It's not that much different than a Murakami Bellstone combo, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, so Bellstone is going to give you regen, 1% armor regen, and then Murakami is also going to give you 1% armor regen. So Golan is going to give you status effects. Murakami is going to give you skill duration. I'd rather have the skill duration on that build, obviously. It's a DPS build. So, you know, but Golan is going to give you 1 extra slot stat because Murakami has its armor regen in its secondary slots, secondary attribute slots. So, you know, so pros and cons, but in the end, isn't it just the same? No, I'm not talking about the Golan part. The Golan part's definitely valuable. I'm not talking about the Gila part. The Gila part is definitely a big change and I think very interesting. But I'm wondering, like, from the Golan perspective, I don't know if I have enough reason to run 2 pieces Golan, except he had a good point, and I liked his point. He's like, I'm running perfect intimidate, so you're gonna be running it anyway. Since you already have Golan anyways, you might as well. True, absolutely true. If you're gonna be running perfect intimidate, which I'm going to be, it's on my farm list. I already have it, but I'm gonna be getting more versions. If you don't have the perfect Golan chest, it's gonna be hot next season, man. That's gonna be hot. I love that chest. Perfect intimidate. So I love that chest piece. Anyways, so that's very valid. Like, yeah, you're running the perfect Golan chest piece anyways. You're going to be running that Golan. So that means secondary Golan pieces are going to be on your build. And that means that will be a build and likely a good meta farming build, you know. Does this all look too easy? Because it is. Yeah, we have enough armor on kill.
Hostile supply convoy nearby.
Uh-oh. Didn't see him.
Serious trauma detected.
Hold on, hold on.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Oh, bossy, bossy, bossy. See, I just want to be able to shoot on the move. If I can shoot on the move, it's the perfect build for me. You know? You still have to concentrate, and that's why I wish I had my controller back, because it'd be a little bit easier. But it's, believe it or not, it's really challenging to shoot snipers on the move. And you need high levels of handling so that it really tightens up your controls. And I do slow down a little bit, so it's not like I'm at full sprint when I do it, but... Let's get these jokers. I'm getting low on ammo. Let me pop that out. They only give you so much ammo, so it's not really worth going for another headshot kill with ammo, or with the pistol. Sort of peek out your potential ammo. I mean, I think the most I've seen on my marksman is 72 rounds.
Detected hostile supply convoy. Heavily armed. Incoming hostiles detected.
Well, I get no. Let me check that. I think I got more just from sitting AFK. I think about it. It's like plucking daisies, man. These guys are fucking soft. You ran right into that fucking TAC 50. Woo. Let me heal up from that one. That bleed hurts, man. You gotta be careful with that special ammo, though. It's pretty painful. Let me... Stop rifling my friend. This thing shoots straight, though, man. I'm gonna say. It shoots straight as an arrow. But straight. Guys like this need a mantis. He's just gonna take a lot of my ammo. Let me just not do that. I didn't mean mantis, I meant nemesis. What? How did I not have my... I guess it wasn't full powered. Ah! Fucking rifle.
Critical. Detected hostile supply convoy. Heavily armed.
So my flanking patterns, right? Notice I'm always taking these indirect routes. It's a lot about... Oh! Fuck, that hurts. Forget about it, forget about it. Scratch that, scratch that. Mike, appreciate you, man. Welcome in. Where you coming from, Mike? You overseas? You stateside? All right, let's try that again. Okay, we lost our buff. Got it. Who wants some? You want it? You want it? I got it. I got a milkshake. It brings all the boys to the yard.
Heavily armed. Hostile supply convoy nearby.
Oh, man. You gotta stay very zenful when you snipe in the Division 2, guys. You do. Greggy, I haven't seen you in a couple days, man. What's good?
Let's play this game.
Shut that fucker up. Oh, she shouldn't have been standing there. Oops. Ooh, we don't like shotguns. We don't like shotguns. Come here, guy. TAC 50 your face. Oh, God. TAC 50 just sucks against bosses, man. He should have been dead. He didn't even have armor. Come here. Ah! He won. You won that one. Yeah, I'm a big armor regen fan, so I'm just wondering if I would really do it, although it'd be a great build. And so, because, you know, I think the memento is critical. It's 3% of that, right, Serial? So the memento is going to give you power up boosts, but because you have so much bonus armor, I don't think I would go overkill on it. You know how he put all those sub bonus armor stats? I think I'd rather go damage there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get his point. He was just like, well, you know, I'm still killing shit faster than ever, and I get that. But I would probably, I still don't think those little I think that's just too much armor regen because of the bonus armor. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as tomato. It's just like something is gonna get diminished returns depending on your playstyle. So it's sort of choose your path kind of thing, but choose your own adventure. See, they screwed up my Zen thing, man. We were on a roll, and that boss dropped me, and now I'm like playing like shit. So, you know, what I'm saying, like, if you're running that much armor, is my point. If you're running that much armor, which he was running a lot, which I would too, I'm just thinking, like, you got so much bonus armor. Why do I need all those little armor regens? But then if I wasn't running armor regen, what would I do? And this is what I would do. And so what I would do is put more damage there instead and load up on protection from elites. So that would give me even more godliness. It's the same, but different. It's the same, you know, just different. Yeah, it's because you got limited choices. What am I gonna do? I don't know what else I would do. I mean, it's just like, okay, so now he maxed out crit damage, but he required, he had to roll 3 crit chance mods onto his build, right? Attributes onto his build. So I think being able to use some of those armor regens for crit chance would be one savior there, and then that would put more crit damage on the build. And then with the rest of the armor regen, which would probably be about 3 slots, I'd put headshot damage in there. And that way I can run protection from elite mods. And that would make you feel really godly. I mean, they would have a hard time chewing through your bonus armor because, or really doing any serious damage to you, because you're going to be healing through everything at 8%. I mean, the other way I was thinking about it is like, there's a couple of different things I would be interested in trying. The other thing I was thinking about was, what about not running any armor cores? Just like brass bag. Yeah, brass bag, you're thinking that's exactly what I was thinking. What about no armor cores and then just going up really high on the regen to counter that, right? It's kind of like offsetting. It's offsetting is what it's doing. Because normally what you would want to have really high armor regen is you would run really high armor cores to buff the regen. But in this case, you got so much regen, might as well lower your armor cores and still have really good regen. And then instead you have weapon damage cores. But why does that matter? Well, it's because when you grab a trophy, you're going to get big bursts of damage, potentially, depending on how many you have, right? So 5% per red core. So if you got 6 red cores, you can get 30% weapon damage spikes, stacking. It's pretty strong. On top of the 8% regen. And then you can have one blue core anyways. So that's some bonus armor. But I probably would still want to lean into the bonus armor a little bit. So maybe like a 3-3. But imagine running that with the mechanical animal instead, and then picking up 6 skill tiers on top of that. Just turning it into a real animal, you know? So maybe run like 3 blue cores, 3 red cores, technician, and the mechanical animal. You know what I mean? Drop all the armor regens and roll those all into crits. Put everything into crits otherwise. You know what I mean? And so you'd have 8% armor regen, I think, right? Yeah, 8% armor regen. So 3 from the backpack, 3 from Gila, 6, and then 2 from the Golan. And then crits everywhere. Just crit everything out. And instead of using Ouroboros, use a mechanical animal. And that's going to pull in 6 skill tiers if you're running technician. Or even 5 skill tiers. Fuck it, don't run technician. But why not? You don't need gunner. You really need armor on kill? No, you don't. You don't. Not with that kind of build. With that kind of build, you don't need gunner. You know. But if you were running and gunning with like an Ouroboros, then I'd probably run actually firewall and run with the striker shield. Again, picking up more damage. And yes, you do want a shield. Even if you're not a shield player. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like if you're loading in that much armor, the only skill that benefits from armor is the shield. So you might as well pull in some of that weight, you know, and get real tanky. It doesn't mean you have to use it all the time. Just use it when you get into trouble. But the striker's shield from Firewall is an offensive shield. So it's damage. It's free damage is what it is. Oh, look, some unsuspecting foes.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
And then imagine running preservation on top of that. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. If you decided not to run, imagine running it like on a build like this. Oh my God, that's even better. Headshot damage, SRS with preservation. Fuck. You see that grenade curve right there? Fuckers. Oh, that was fucking... He was twitchy, man. It wasn't my fault. You know what I mean? You saw that twitch, right? You just fucking weird broke his own back, turning around and shit. I hate when they run back here. Then I gotta cover 2 angles. Hello? Where are we going? Did he see us? Did he see us? Oh, wait. You're not on my team. Ah, what was that?
Fully armored hostile detected. Agent incapacitated.
Cheaters. I don't get that whole math doesn't lie thing. You guys should look it up sometime. And read like what people have to say about that, like credible people. I mean, math does lie. You know, it can be interpreted badly. It's not the math's fault. It could also be done incorrectly. Has anybody ever thought about that? If you're not a statistician, like, who knows what people are feeding you? You know what I mean? How are you gonna check it? Here, you. Let me get that for you. There you go. No, but I get what people mean. I'm just being a devil's advocate a little bit, but my whole thing is just like, yeah, I don't know if I mean, should trust your number. Why should I trust your numbers? How do I know that you, I mean, I know like from experience personally, like I've had spreadsheets where, you know, I had a decimal place in the wrong place and it fucks up the whole thing, but the numbers look correct. You don't know the difference. You know what I mean? Does it ever happen to you? But it's okay if people make mistakes, you know what I mean? So that's okay, right? It's just like, you gotta, you know, you trust who you trust, and it's just like, and just hope that it's a, and if, when you trust somebody, you know, it's an honest mistake, you know? Somebody says something incorrectly, were they being deceitful about it? You know, or was it an honest mistake? I don't know. But that's why you follow certain people though, right? You follow people that you trust and that earned your trust, not just because you trust them, but they earned it. How did they earn it? You know, because some of the stuff that they told you, hopefully you were able to confirm, or somebody else confirmed it. You know what I mean? But not everybody's a mathematician, right? So, I mean, I'm just not going to take some, you know, dude who's eating potato chips on his couch, his word for it. You know what I mean? There was another one. That was a blind fire, but the heals are were a little bit too slow. That's because preservation isn't super fast, right? It is heals over time.
Civilians in distress.
Give me up, give me up. So the downside of this build is that, like, you have the memento as an alternate. And it's a damn good one for the scenario. I mean, I could put it on and show you what I mean. Because we're playing quick, right? We're playing into short CQB type fighting. And we'd be grabbing trophies, and those are big spikes in both damage and regen. And the regen is no joke off that memento, and we'd be getting bonus armor. But because of the damage from the trophies, it allows you to add actually more defense on your build, so you can have more resistance, which in turn is going to give you stronger regen.
Civilians in danger.
Anybody hiding back here? Oh, there's you. Where are you going? Over there. It's a good place to die. Ah. What are you doing here, dog? There's a whole battle going on. Don't go there. You're going the wrong way. Shit, it's fast. Operation Save the Dog. We lost our buff, so I don't want to waste TAC 50 ammo on him. I mean, the truth is, actually, I forgot. We could be running the Nemesis because we changed weapons. So the Nemesis is for bosses. He's all alone. He's cornered. You know what I would like is a good Predator game. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some of the Predator games that are out there and they look like somebody made it at home. You know, and I was like, I'm not gonna play that. But a good open world Predator game, you know? Oh, you know? There's Men in Black that you're fighting, basically. That'd be sick. Special Forces, basically like the Black Tusk, you know? Ooh, that's a nice one. A lot of good drops today. Just... Tanny. All right. A little bit of gear. So I'm ready to switch it up. I want to try boosting that upfront resistance a little bit.
Civilians in distress.
Do I feel like skill builds are being underused? Yeah, I do.
Hostile control point nearby.
It's a good question. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how you look at it, what you define as skill builds. I mean, I've been showcasing a lot of explosive skill builds lately. But yeah, I know what you mean. Just like general skill builds, you know, they've been explored heavily. You know, they really have. So as far as showcasing skill builds, it's a lot of what you've already seen, and that's okay. I've been meaning to bubble some back up to the surface, like the original Slaughter build. I've been meaning to run that. I've been planning on doing the whole skill build series at the back end of this season, which we're almost to. So starting in January, I'll probably be doing a lot more skill builds. And they're really helpful for new players. So I think it's a good thing, you know, to bring up and to showcase, because they do such a good job at, I mean, mostly they play from cover, so that's good. There's no shield, so that's good. And they take some pressure off of you so that you can put some shots out. So they're really good builds, very effective. They definitely help in Legendary a lot too, if you're still getting accustomed to that. You know, there's still placement and skill management you got to figure out, but that aside. What if we did high armor regen on this side? Let's try to do it as we have it today. Actually, that's a good idea. Heavy armor regen as we have it today. So like that, and then one piece spellstone's good. And then 2-piece golem, which I should have. So there's one golem. My other golem might be on my other character. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to more skill builds though, and you know, I think they're gonna look differently going forward, right? Because of the mechanical animal changes or the future perfect changes. That's gonna make everything a potential skill build. All you gotta do is change the weapon. That's really cool. That's really cool. You know, get more assistance out of your skills just by swapping your weapon. Hate that I have to go elsewhere to get my regen. See if I have lucky enough to have a chest piece on me. I'm not. All right, let's just go get it. Okay. Yeah, I like the builds that can swap skills too, though. Those builds are really neat. You know what I mean? Where you can, you know, use your... Oops, I grabbed the wrong character. Damn it. Crowd control skill on this room and then go into the next skill and swap out. And I think that to something else, maybe it's your turret again. And the builds that can do that really well are the ones that aren't overly heavily invested in skill damage as their second attribute. So, you know, that are leaning more on the depth of the skill tiers themselves and skill efficiency. That has everything, right? So I think that, which is really cool. So, you know, obviously the memento is a big help there. And then your other pieces are probably going to be something else, like Brazos, which is a skill leaning into skill tier. What else you got?
Safe area.
I don't know, but maybe other pieces are like crits or something like that, or something else that's added to the build. See if we have some sort of chest piece here. Golem crit, no. Yeah, but I would like more options, you know. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm hoping for more skills. What up, Blue? You know, and they didn't sound like they were going to be doing any. Let me see. What do you think about Ridger's Pride with the Grudge combo? Well, the good news is the Grudge is getting a buff next season, right? I think they're giving it a bigger mag at the very least. I can't remember exactly, but I know it's getting some sort of changes. But some people really like that weapon. Anyways, that's a good way to buff your team. I guess with Hunter's Fury, I mean, are you running it in a team setup? Is that what you're doing there? Because you wouldn't need Ridgeway's Pride. Ridgeway's Pride is really hard to use and like. You know what I mean? Because there's so many better options than Ridgeway's Pride. Sadly. And I used to use Ridgeway's Pride a lot. Because, so, Grudge is going to give you more status, is going to give you more crits to you and your team if you kill somebody with the status effects. Except if you're running it solo, you'd probably just be better off running Strained, right? So Strained would give you more. Except the Grudge is going to give you crit chance too, so I get that. But the Hunter's Fury gear set already gives you a status effect. So I don't know if you'd really need Ridgeway's Pride also, you know, and then dampen your impact. I think it would be noticeable not having your chest talent on Hunter's Fury. So losing your chest and your backpack on Hunter's Fury would kind of hurt. You know what I mean? It would kind of hurt because, yeah, there's great amp damage on the Hunter's Fury, but like to not have something like, you know, Wicked or the Memento, you know, with bonus armor. I mean, you'd also feel kind of squishy even with armor on kill. I really prefer bonus armor on my Hunter's Fury builds, unless I'm No, I pretty much always prefer it. So, because you have to get in the kill box, you have to get in 15 meters. So if you're not able to do that consistently and come out, you know, 20% armor on kill might not be enough to be in there, you know? Enemies hit darn hard, don't they? I mean, it depends on the content, I guess. But originally it's probably, but you'd be losing your chest piece damage and your backpack damage, because the Hunter's Fury backpack only gives you more status effects. So I guess my point is, the cool thing is you already have the status effects there. And so if you're running Gunner, that's going to give you 10% more armor on kill. Now you're at 30% armor on kill, and it gives you access to the Banshee pulse. And you don't really need heals, so you don't need to run a fixer. So you could run a shield plus the Banshee. Now you got 2 sources of status effects. And so to add in a 3rd status effect at the detriment of damage, I'm not sure would be worth it. I'm thinking about timers though and cooldowns and how that would impact it. There might be something there though. Yeah, no, people would appreciate it. I think the Coyote mask with it would be a big one. So I would look at that, you know, run the Coyote mask instead, give your team those, that's free crits. That's free. I mean, I know maybe somebody else is running it, there's that. But either way, if they're not, that's free crits, and then you're giving them crits from your gun too. The problem with Coyote builds that I have is that, you know, how many people on your team are actually getting the benefit of the crit chance? Because most people, when they're running crits, they're probably going to be maxed out. So the reality is that maybe they're getting 10% crit hit damage buff, and then maybe they're getting 25% when they're inside range. You know, so yeah, you know, it's still good, of course, but the crit hit chance buff, I guess is what I'm saying, is I feel like not that helpful, because when people are running crits, they got the crits, you know, so they got the cap or close to it. And then if they're not running crits, then they're not a crit build, and very little impact will it make on your team, because maybe they're a healer or a tank, you know, or something like that, you know. So, you know, I don't know. Those are just things to think about, right? So really, I guess my point is, really what you're looking at is crit damage to your team. Oh, I pulled a Golan over here. I don't have the Golan I was thinking of. The one I pulled in has crits. What was I thinking? I wasn't. That's what I was thinking. God, I swear I have that though. Somewhere. I really want to try that. I've been saving pieces to try it. And I know I keep getting that other Golem piece on my knee, and it's been annoying, because I was like, I don't want to run it on my knee, because I got my Emperors. See? There it is right there. So we need that piece, but I need on the gloves or the mask. And they keep giving it to me on my knees. Darn it. But it'll be good for next season, so I'm okay with it there. For now. But I mean, I guess what I could do is put the Golan there, lose the Murakamis, and run a second piece of Bellstone. Yeah, let's do that for now. There's not Golan on the map right now, is there? Let me look. There is. Small zone. We can go kill up there for a minute. Okay, so we'll try that, and then here I'll run a belly stone. Another belly stone. So I don't mind an armor and kill, because we're killing well. So There we go. It's a good compromise. And then we got the memento, so I can run more armor now because we can get more damage. But I want to reroll one of these. So let's go ahead and just swap over that. Fry bread is alive. Good man, good man. Okay, so I'll just go and put on headshot damage. We'll go out there and see what kind of damage we're gonna get, and then we'll adjust. Hopefully there's some protection from elites. Okay, we lost all our ammo, sadly. So let's go make our way up into Golan Town. Oh, I love that one, Pashi. 6 skill tier variant. Yeah, there's so many different ones you can make with that 6 skill tier skill build, sniper build. You know, I mean, if you're a fan of the scalpel, or if you like running future, then you know you don't even need to put that many skills tiers on. But since you're one-shot chain killing anyways, you're kind of probably in that predicament, right? Which is like, I might as well. So we're gonna have one control point here, which kind of sucks. So we're gonna need some ammo. Pistol builds are something to get into also, if you like exploring other weapon classes. Rifles and shotguns can all get very similar. Snipers are, you got a lot more options with gear pieces for sniper builds though. You know, with Araldi and Habsburg and need ammo, so kill those. Stop healing. There we go. Ah, the hell did that come from? Oh, you're in trouble now. I really did enjoy that last build we ran, though. I mean, some of the shots I felt really good about, you know, that I was able to land. And it wouldn't have been so easy to do that without the handling. Where am I going? Which way am I going? This way. I turn off that line on my map that goes down the middle of the street. You notice that? Yeah, a good pistol with gunner is great. Is great. If I wasn't such a fan of my TAC 50, I would do that way more often. Because you don't get much benefits from sharpshooter for your pistols. I'm sure some of you don't know that, but some of you do. But pistols don't get any real weapon handling benefits, and they don't get headshot damage perks either. Oops, bad shot. What was that? Oh, I shot him in the chest. Sometimes I forget I'm not running. Determined. Lazy sniping. Determined is very much needed in the game, though. I mean, the amount of times you end up shooting them in a hand because they're ADSing on you is really annoying.
Incoming hostiles detected. System malfunction.
That tank is fucking with me right there.
System reactivated. Detected.
Who's alive? Ah. Aha! Use my pistol on this guy. Some ammo. More. Damn, another tank. Is anybody else kind of glad the holiday event is over? Kind of, 15 days felt a little tedious. I mean, I guess probably more because I had to cover it. But if you're just playing the game, then probably like, nope, I want more. Still? There's more? Who's alive still? The accuracy of those tanks, just come on. Yeah, I would have liked something. I mean, the sweater was, I think, the best give. I mean, I like the sweater more than the group of backpack, but that's fun. It's fun. Why aren't I getting any real gear? Can you explain this to me? I'm trying to save my TAC 50 ammo, so earn up that ammo. Come on. Ooh, she tried to punch me. Ugh, I can cartwheel too. Oh, that bonus armor. Love it. I don't know where I'm going. Just killing people in a chain, in a line. See, okay, we went the wrong way. So, this way. They were like breadcrumbs. Yeah, I don't know why they don't make it snow. It doesn't snow in Washington, D.C.? I've never spent significant time there, so. KV, what up, man? Who do we got? So yeah, don't do what I do, you know what I mean? Like, take your time. Okay, so we timed out. Hold on. Ugh. So we're at 11 with crits, so we should be there. Ammo's looking slim. Oh, that hurt. Fuck. That miss hurt is what I mean. I wanted him because of his turret. Make that turret mine. Oh, he's a sneaky little fuck, isn't he? Should be getting pelted by fucking bullets to the face over there. Come here. Whoops. What did I miss? fucking blue. Hold on. I'm getting to you. See, when you move around this much, your ammo becomes an issue. Because we got the pistolero, so. I mean, it's okay because I don't have determined, so I can swap weapons, get that ammo. We'll lose preservation is all. There we go. So we got that regen helping out a little bit. But if we had those Murakamis, damn. I gotta get that. So what we're looking for is another Golan, right? So we can add the Murakamis back on. Hold on. Hold on. Ah! Come here. There it is. God, there's a lot of rifle around here. Alright. That armor on kill is nice though too, though. It's giving us the chunks that we need. I don't know who these people are. They're a convoy, it looks like. Alright. Came out of the woodworks.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Where are they coming from? Way over there? Ah! Can't believe I missed those. Got that bleed ammo, huh? Oh, I feel like I'm running around with the backfire. Okay, so we're looking for Golan gear. All right, let's do it. Golan with headshot damage and handling preferably. But we'll also take regen on it if it has that. Fucking hate that drone. Not gonna lie. All right, let's see what we got here. Anything? Explosive skill haste? No. Not being very generous on the loot. This guy again, huh? The helicopter is not gonna leave me alone. Like, we might as well like log out and log back in because this is bullshit. It doesn't shoot at the enemies, just me. It's like a stage 5 clinger, you know what I mean? Oh look, it's shooting at the thing, good. Good boy. Oh, come on, man. I got a lot to worry about. I got a lot of anxiety right now because that fucking thing flying around. You know what I mean? Like it's giving me a fucking stomach ache. It's making me real nervous. Real nervous. I feel like I could take the wrong missile at any time, you know what I mean? Boss. Should probably take him out because he's got foam. Are we done? Who do we got to kill? I mean, that guy's not part of it. Oh, there he is. Ooh, that one's close. Might be able to use that one. It's got headshot damage already on it. I could leave the blue core and roll handling or leave the hazard, so. Mission accomplished! And so the armor on kill wasn't bad though. I liked it. It was working for me, but. Just stay true to form here. All right, so let's go swap-a-roo. I think we're good to go. Test the next level of the build. Yeah, you're right, Rybread. I just don't like wasting my time on them. They're just annoying. I don't want to fight them. That's the thing. I don't want to fight them. I want to run. And they did a silent buff to them where that thing does not give up. I mean, I was running, and this has happened more than once, so it wasn't just an instance, where I'm running like across the map, and this thing's chasing me, and I keep dropping decoys, I EMP it, and I keep running, and it still follows me. Like, there's a lot of guys that just like, they're just not worth my time, you know? He's one of them. Okay, so let's look where our regen is right now. 125, 62,000, 125 armor on kill, 62,000 armor regen. Now you got to remember we get 20%. We get 20% armor on kill on the gun. That doesn't show on the stats, but it's sort of, it comes in like regen, right? So killing an enemy repairs 10% armor. We're getting 20% armor over 5 seconds because we're doing headshot kills. And so that comes in over 5 seconds like regen. So it's like a big regen boost. So that's just kind of nice. It's kind of on theme, but we could take this one. I can leave the armor core. It's kind of shitty. I don't know which one's better, but it's better than nothing for testing purposes. And then, we'll put the Murakamis back down here, which is on theme because skill duration is going to help both our skills, and we use those. And then so we got 2 Golans, and then what I want to put back on here is the hotshot piece. And technically I want weapon handling there, but that's cool. I'll just do it. All right, and then if I leave the armor on that, how much armor were we running before? I think we were running blue, so I think maybe I can just, let me do this one first. And then, oh, it's kind of the same thing. They're both shitty, aren't they? I say I could leave the blue on and then put on the hazard protection, handling, I mean. And on this one, yeah, they're both kind of shitty. It's okay, it's just temporary. I'll put it here, and then I'll leave the blue. And just go ahead and run. It kind of sucks to leave the blue though, because it's so fucking weak, right? But it's like 50% there. But I'm really liking the weapon handling. So that's the only thing. Remember, we have those talks like if you're doing everything you need to do, what are you going to do to your build to take it to the next level? And in this case, it's weapon handling. So we're chain killing everything. Like, I don't need more headshot damage really, but I'm going to start adding protection from elites in a minute now that we got the right pieces. And so we lost the weapon handling mod here. Let me see if I got a better one. I don't. That's fine. We'll deal with it. So where is my handling now? So we're only at 27%, you know? Could be better. So we must have been at like 35 before. That doesn't sound right. Was I running a hotshot last time? What was I running as my mask just a minute ago? Don't tell me I was running one-piece hotshot on that build, was I? No, Mike, that's still going. That's ongoing. So my goal is to finish it before the end of the year. What mask was I just running? Can somebody tell me? Oh my gosh. Let me see. Was I running one piece of hotshot? That wouldn't have made any sense. But I might have been forgetting that. If anybody has ability to scroll back on the stream and let me know a few seconds, that'd be helpful. What mask was I running a minute ago? I think I was running one piece of hotshot, and I wasn't getting any benefit out of that. That's crazy. It's too hotshot or nothing, right? Because of the memento. So anyways, we're losing 30% weapon handling there. And so, which we didn't have in the first place, apparently. So probably a Habs. Shit, we might as well keep on the Beltstone though, I'm thinking. God, that'd be a strong build. Let's go run this and see if it works. Now, again, for me, what works, it was a hotshot right bad. Was I just running one piece hotshot? Is that it? Was it just the mask? It must have been, right? I think I was in my head thinking I was still running the NinjaBike on that mask. So yeah, that was a wasted slot. We weren't getting shit out of that. So that means this build should work. Right? That means this build should work. So if we were doing what we were doing with one piece of hotshot, meaning not the damage from a damage perspective, from the weapon handling perspective. So because we did a really good job chain killing, right? And so a lot of that is just because this is a short barrel and a really, really quick and clean sniper, you know? It is a Christmas movie, Mike. Ho, ho, ho. I got an assault rifle now. Ho, ho, ho. I mean, I think we should have a Nakatomi Tower Christmas party.
Detected. Location guarded by hostiles.
It's all good, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure I screwed up. So let's just go test it now. And we got everything we need. So let's start over here. Let's make our rounds. Because Brazos is on the table right now, so. So, okay, before I do that, might as well just walk you guys through the build here and let you know what I'm thinking. On survivability, this kind of segues into next season a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm building this build. I'm kind of feeling it out. So we have 2 pieces of Golem, which is giving us 1% armor regen. Next season, that's going to give you 2% armor regen. Now there's the Gila side of things. And so this is sort of an alternate to Gila because you're going to get 2% from Golem and you only need to run 2 pieces, which means you could just run the NinjaBike backpack and unlock it too. with one piece, right? Yeah. So that's really attractive to me to only have to run 2 pieces, where Gila, you have to run a full 3. So anyways, so we got 1% armor regen there. So now we're at 2% armor regen. And then we got another 1% armor regen there. So now we're at 3% armor regen. And then we got 3% armor regen. So now we're at 6% armor regen. And then we got 30%. Well, before I get into that, so we're at 6% armor regen. And then this is 20% over, what is it? 5 seconds, which is, what is that? 4% regen? Am I doing that right? What I say was 20% over 5 seconds, right? Yeah, 4%. So that puts us basically at, what did we say? 3, 4, so 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 10% armor regen per second, as long as we got 1 kill every 5 seconds, which we're basically at, give or take, right? So that's pretty good. And then we got 10% armor on kill on top of that. And then, I'm not done, we get 30% armor on kill effectively on top of that in the form of bonus armor. You see? So and then we get the 30% repairs. If you look at that as part of the equation in armor per second, this is gonna be pushing at probably 35 heals per second. As a percentage, I don't know. So either way, that's, you know, that's a lot of incoming heals at all times, right? So we should be back and healthy. Lickety split. Let's get some ammo here and set ourselves up for, oh, you jerk. Oh, I don't want to kill the heavy helmet guy. Forget it. Change the plans. Change the plans. Redirect. Slumdog Millionaire is back. Somebody ask him a question. Somebody ask him a question. Ask him if he knows who's on the $100 bill. What's up, man? We're having a good time. It's Friday. I didn't think I was going to stream today, but I had the chance. Ooh, it's going to be a party. Look at that. Got a convoy in the house. Let's take the right from guy. Let's see if we can. We can. It was a crit, but we still had the numbers. So we'll have to see our non-crit value on that. Nice fucking grenade toss. Closed my path.
Reinforcements incoming.
Never mind. I was gonna go get that trophy, but never mind. Somebody's chasing me, I think. Yeah. Oops. Look at our, do you see our armor jump right there? Oh, that heavy gunner sucks. You better move. I don't want to be on the line of sight of a gunner, and then the other guy's gonna whip out a turret. Yeah. Whoops. My turret now, motherfuckers. I'm coming. I love turning the turrets against them. My favorite thing to do. I want a hack skill. You know what I mean? As in the game, I think it's appropriate. It's on lore. I don't understand why we don't have it. I mean, it's hunter tech, but we deserve it. Hold on, hold on. Oops. Shooting gun for no reason. Ammo's valuable. Ah. Where you going? It's a good place to die. Oh wait, let's use this. Oh, still not enough. Oh, that bleed. Ho 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 ho. It's a good way to heal through it though. Ha 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 ha. You see that? Yeah, you don't need determined to do that. I'm telling you, it's built sick. It's you know, a lot of the stability is just built into the weapon through mods. So, you know, it's cool to be able to do that, honestly. Like, it helps a lot. I know I'm kind of playful about it, but the reality is it's one of the best survival tactics for my close quarter sniping is to be able to blind fire and hit them in the head like that. Because in many cases, that's a kill shot. You know what I mean? But in his case, it's almost a kill shot, right?
Incoming hostiles detected.
Where are we coming from? Surprise! Oops. That bleed sucks. It really slows me down. Almost makes me want to run hazard protection, you know? Look at that regen, though. There we go. We're hitting at 10 million. Almost on the money. It's a good place to die as any. Do you guys see I changed my menu, my my HUD, front and center? It's helpful. You know, from your eye movement, just a little more easier on the peripheral vision is maybe the best way to say it. It's not just you, man. It's the division. Oh, he deleted. Did you see that? He vanished. Let's see if his body's there. It's gone. He vanished. That's twice.
What are you waiting for?
The first headshot kill is always the hardest, and then it gets a lot easier. So that's why it looks so easy. It's because it does get a little easier. You know what I mean? But that first one, so I'm back to the first one because I just cheesed the shot into the chest there. So, but this guy's just standing there like an idiot. So I played into that mechanic too, and that's a big one. And the people who I've opened up to seeing that have all come back to say it was a game changer for them. I try to highlight it, but it was a game changer for me. Grumpy, do you use that mechanic? I call it the deer in headlights mechanic. So where you jump in front of them and they won't shoot at you. They sit there and stare at you like an idiot. And then it's only a second or a fraction of a second, but in headshot sniper world, that's like, it's a lifetime. You know, you can kill 3 guys in that moment that he's sitting there just staring at you like an idiot. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's one of those things. I don't have enough people to show you here, so let me just clear this control point and then I'll. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's like once you see it, you're like, oh my God, how did I miss that? Now, if you use assault rifles and stuff like that, it's you probably see it, but you don't realize how powerful it is, and it does help you in those other builds. But with sniper builds, that's a kill moment. It's not just a damage moment. In assault rifles and SMGs, what's happening in that moment is you're using it to stagger them so they don't shoot back, which is great. And then many times you get the kill when you have the DPS and they don't even get a shot off on you. It happens a ton, right? Same concept. Except because... What was that? What was that? What the hell just happened? Hold on, I'm out of here. He's trying to fucking melee me. Let's not get riot foam. That's all I care about. Look at our heals. Wow. That's without preservation, right? All right, there we go. Aw, that was his head. I tracked it fine. You earn so much specialization ammo, like, it's cool. Excuse, what? An excuse to use my TAC 50, I'll take it, right?
System reactivated.
The special ammos definitely makes this all harder, though, by the way. Because you have a hard time ADSing when you're bleeding. You're slower, slows your movements. Screen's all blinky. Let me get right there. Did you see that? It was like an hour. I mean, he actually put a shot out before he froze, but watch. So did he. Let me find a clean one. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I mean, they just stand there like idiots. I mean, in her case, she was ducking and dodging and diving and shit, but many times they just stand there. There it is again. I'm telling you, blind fire headshot kills. Something you gotta. Oh, that bleed. That hurts. Okay, let's go for it. Look at that regen. That's nice. Where you going, man? Come back. Oh, you see, you guys see that glitchiness where he disappears for a fraction of a second? It makes me not take the shot because I'm like, he just disappeared and now he's like somewhere else, like an inch in the wrong place, you know? And that matters. Look at that regen. Wow, I'm impressed. Because we got the regen and our armor and kill. Oh, and I can add, I'm pretty sure I can add protection from elites. Let's see, right here. Don't be a crit, don't be a crit, don't be a crit. 10.3, all right. So I'm gonna add protection from elites. That's gonna help our bonus armor last. All our shit's gonna last better. So let's see if this will work for us. That might have been too big of a drop. I think that should have been a kill. Let's try again. It's okay if we don't run protection from elites, but boy, would that be a nice little add. Big pause there. You see that? You see that right there? That was a perfect example where he just stands there. He's acquiring you, so it's not that he's not doing anything, but he's lining up on you. But it allows you to get up in there. Ooh, that was my kill. Okay, so now we need a clean slate on seeing if this protection from elite mod works.
Additional hostile contacts.
Needs to be a non-crit on elite. There it is, 10.8, so they're looking good there. It's perfect, actually. It's a great number. It was a non-crit, so. I don't think we had a fresh trophy, did we? You see that? You see that? Bullshit. Shouldn't be able to move like that. we use a nemesis on you.
You can't touch me. Gonna be in a bad spot here.
Hold on.
Need to lock down the area.
Oh my god, this guy. See, when you lose your buff, that first kill is always a pain in the rear. Always is. She was glitchy. Oh, bullshit move. 13 million, it worked. Non-crits. So I think we got the damage, but we are stacking trophies that might be contributing to some degree, but that is how we play, so I'm a little okay with that. 13.2 is pretty consistent here.
I can't see him from here. What's your flank? Too close. Bring it.
Oh. Ah, lame. My bad. My bad. See that? I mean, you see what I'm saying? So I know, I'm pointing it out a lot, but it's just there. They just stand there. Now for an assault rifle, that's still helpful if you're running an assault rifle, because you're gonna, if you're running something like the Kingbreaker or some strong, whatever, it's gonna stagger him and he's not gonna get a shot off. And then in that moment where he's trying to regain his balance, you're killing him.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Who's got spare ammo? Nowhere to hide.
Going this way. I ain't afraid of you. They're out in the open. Fuck shit.
Oh,
Yeah, go on. Heal yourself, bro.
his shotgun. Do you see the big chunks he takes off when he hits me with that shotgun? Special ammo. Oh. Come back, come back. Feels good. I like it. And to think this is going to get stronger next season. Think about that. This is just an example, but this same setup, you don't have to change anything. Just like this, you can get 1% more armor regen. I don't know if I'd run Golan, because you'd lose the Bellstones and the Murakami. And so you'd lose, that's pulling in 2% for me right there. And then I got 10% armor on kill for, what would you, I mean, the question is, do you want 10% armor on kill or 1% armor regen? Both are good. There's some of these we can try, actually. But the reality is that if you're killing well, you shouldn't squirm from armor on kill. You know, and plus it's a combo anyways. We have both anyways. So I like having, I mean, I could go easily either way, to be honest with you. Because we're also getting bonus armor on kill. Which is like, which is better than armor on kill in Tux world. I can shoot around corners too. Right on, Slums.
Supply room active.
But I think what's really important, like, this is what's important, and these are what I hope the changes bring to the table, is that I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun. You know what I mean? And it's fun because it's allowing me to play this way with this weapon. And that might not be for you, but hopefully there's something coming that's going to allow you to play your way with whatever weapon, you know, and play style. So, and you know, that's what's exciting to me, right? And that's what I look forward to every season, whether there's a patch to it or not, is I look forward to something that enhances my gameplay. And I would imagine that just taking the same build and getting 1% more armor regen on Golan is going to enhance it, you know? It's going to give me more options. Maybe I decide to take off Murakami. Maybe I decide and put something else there instead. Maybe I run something else. I don't know. Maybe I take off the Murakami and maybe I take off the second Bellstone, run 2-piece Golan, and run Hotshot. 2-piece Hotshot and get some more weapon handling in there. Where are we at with our weapon handling right now, by the way? So stability, we're at 90. So that a lot of what you're seeing is actually stability. And then 35% weapon handling. So those shots. So notice my reticle isn't moving. Let me put on a scope so you can see that better. So we're talking about weapon sway here. So looking at a very far target is easier. So let's look at that little doodad there. So you see there's my weapon is swaying, right? That's my guy breathing. Right, that's a breathing effect there. But it's very small movements. Do you think that's accuracy or stability? I need to check. We did check, but it was so long ago, now I don't remember. Because accuracy is supposed to change the way the dot bounces, and that's technically the way the dot bounces. Either way, it's not wild. So
Detecting high threat enemy patrol.
but we got a lot of stability on the weapon, and I feel like that helps me a ton.
You want to see what I can do?
2 foamers coming at me. Whoa, 3 foamers. Fuckers. Isn't it funny that riot foam is literally my biggest threat in the game and I don't run snare resistance? Something is wrong with that. We're fighting a chunk over here. I'll let him do that. Come here. Let him up, baby. You guys are cheaters. I swear you're cheaters. All right, all right. So there's one in the crowd. Yeah, I would love breathe control.
Control point detected.
I mean, the way they put it, that they have it built into sharpshooter, but it's not, is it? Ooh, there's 2 chungas here. I can't tell if they're fighting each other or what's going on because they look like they were fighting each other. Line them up, baby! That's an outcast saying. It's. I think that's what they say. Light them up, baby, right? Where are you? Where are you?
Heavily armored hostile detected.
See how fast I get that second shot? They don't talk about ADS too, but I'm pretty sure you get an ADS buff too. That was a headshot? Blind? That wasn't? That was our hand? That was blind? Blind? Blind. Let's see how many we can do. Was that red? I don't know if I'm hitting him at all. I'm not? I am? What's going on here? There we go. The camera's fucking with me. That's fun. One of the biggest advantages of rolling on the handling is that it can do that.
Incoming hostiles detected.
He was too far. Oh, that wasn't a headshot? Come on. Lifetime. Accept the pain. No pain, no gain. Surprise. Oh, it's a heavy gunner. He sucks. Ooh, we're getting low on ammo. Let's fix that. Oh, he moved. I'd have missed anyways. Okay, where's that gunner? Let's take care of these chungas. Chunga down. Where's the other chunga? There he is. Should we melee him instead, or? He's pretty well chewed up there, wasn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we get an ADS buff too. It's really hard to measure that. I don't know if you guys have any good ideas. But I can get 2 shots off on a rusher before he even has a chance to know what happened. And that's point blank, so you got to be pretty fast to do that, I think. Yeah, the handling feels great though. It feels great. It's just right. It's not overtuned.
Detecting high threat enemy patrol.
Aim assist turned off. Xbox regular controller. What I got going on here? I have slight settings adjusted, but they're actually adjusted for the Elite controller, which I'm not running anymore. So I've just been lazy. Need to. Oh, really? Need to fix that. There's 2 gunners. I wish, like, if you hit him in the eyeball or something like that, that you could bypass his helmet. I mean, why not? Oh, there's something. That was an elite patrol, apparently. All right. Yeah, I can just go. I don't have a lot of ammo, but I want to put in a bunch of shots on him and see what happens. 1, 2. Nope, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Yeah, he hits too hard.
Agent incapacitated.
Yeah, the White Death is pretty good too, to no scope. It hits hard. The only downside is that it's got a slow reload, like a really slow reload, and a smaller mag. And so this thing's got 12 size mag. That's my favorite part about it, really. I need ammo. Wow. Nemesis, what does it have on it? I know it's got some crits. Let's take a look here. Headshot damage, crit damage, 5% weapon handling, and reload speed. So with the Nemesis, oops, go back there. Switch to that. Should be 35. So it's the same because I got 5% on the other weapon too. Excuse me. Crappy Braza. Why is Braza so hard to farm? I mean, it rains Picaro's holsters and her mono backpacks. But if you're looking for anything else, Brazos, good luck, man. I mean, we've gone up the summit. What do we basically have 40 floors on the summit? I think we're at 40 floors on the summit. Still didn't get anything to brag about. Yeah, you see the D50 swings, man. You know, you can, this is what's crazy is that even with the 100% weapon handling, the D50's accuracy stability stats aren't maxed out. And so when you put on all that weapon handling, it's still asking for more. It's like, geez. Tech support, headshot damage, regen. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't really want backpacks though, you know, because the memento looks pretty good on these Brazos pieces, but so, and I don't want holsters, but chest pieces would be the best. Because if you can run your second Brazos on your chest, that just really opens up everything else easier to farm. Grumpy, I was thinking about your situation and season 3, and you're gonna be like extremely resource rich. You know, because the other day we were talking about NSA tech, and you had some like god awful number on NSA, and I know that you're basically full on exotic components, aren't you? And what's your watch size? You got a pretty big watch too, don't you? What's your watch right now? Did you say you just hit 40,000 on your watch? And so I was thinking like, so with the NSA tech vendor coming online, so if you guys didn't know, they're gonna give you turn your NSA into credits to a vendor. They should just let us develop the game. So you got 49,000 watch, 40K watch, and 40K S, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, think about all the NSA tech that you're gonna be able to use, right? Holy moly. I mean, and the thing is, you're already full on exotics. You should probably start spending them. The thing is, you can't, and I understand why you can't, because you want to wait for the expertise system to be nerfed. And then you're going to spend your exotics, which is fine. And then you go into the descent vendor and just buy a bunch more exotics. You're going to be rich, bro. You're going to be rich.
Reinforcements en route.
Got a man down.
I hit right foam.
To the side.
Ran a big circle to get you, buddy. I need you to die. Thank you. Oh, we got a convoy coming too. Brace yourselves. Let's get some ammo.
Convoy detected.
Let's power up. All day. All day he just stands there looking at me. Idiota! It's always you, isn't it, lady?
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Oh, that wasn't a headshot. Fuck. Where are you? There's something weird with the when you ADS, you get shorter. You notice that? Like, I can barely see over this fucking counter. It changes my perspective, so, you know, I line it up, and then when I go ADS, I expect to be at the same place, and I'm not. It happens like that when you get right foam, too. You get right foamed, and it's just like, wait, he wasn't even aiming at my face, but when I'm ADSing and being right foamed, it's like it's right in my eyeball. It's like he's not even aiming at my face. A bad time to reload, lady. You got a sniper scope. Point it at your forehead. Please don't reload. Lesson of the day. That one's for free.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Really? There we go.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Oh, she jumped out. The guy behind him died. Ugh. Your special ammo sucks.
Detecting additional
Uh-oh.
hostiles.
Missed. Shouldn't have missed.
Civilians in danger.
It's always you making me miss. Ah.
Serious trauma detected.
Ooh, that special ammo hurts. Survived. Idiot.
Civilians in distress.
We're getting low on ammo. Gotta be precise. Don't got a ton. Said precise. Oh, fucking foamers. Oh, twice foamed. I don't even know why I try to break it. Should just stand there like an idiot.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Target's getting near.
Whoops, that's my bad.
Don't let them.
Oh, dick. Your magnetic backpack sucked in my bullet, huh? See how it is.
Vital signs critical.
Got you covered. Back off.
Oh. You're a sassy one, aren't you?
That cover will save you. Armor shot to head.
Oof, just in time, huh?
Civilians in danger.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, I guess if it was me, what would I do? I'd probably take, like, I would definitely expertise all my favorite weapons. The ones that had the ability to reroll the talents. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'd definitely do, like, I don't think I have this SRS. Yeah, I don't have this SRS. I don't have any of my SRSs. So, you know, I would do those. I'd probably obviously do every exotic. It does seem wasteful to do exotics that you don't use, though, like the BTSU gloves and shit like that, you know, whatever. Just so, you know, do you really need a buff on the BTSU gloves? Probably not. Give you a little bit of armor. But, you know, I would do things like the Memento and the Coyote and, you know. But if you've got so many resources, it's like, fuck. You're capped, right? So every exotic you crush at this point forward just goes into the garbage. So you sort of you're forced into spending it when you're max. You already did all those? Yeah. So yeah, what are you gonna do? I mean, all your striker pieces and all your, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, it sounds exhausting just doing it though, right? But it's interesting because what ends up happening is, what I see that happens to me is, you end up running a bottleneck somewhere else, right? Like in field recon data or SHD calibration. And obviously you got a big watch, so you'll be able to buy more, but it's just it becomes a tedious process, doesn't it? It's like, oh, I gotta go, now I gotta go over here, now I gotta go over there. But you know what makes it even more tedious is when you think about how all of that, what you're spending equates to time, you know? Like, when you spend one watch point, just one watch point, what was that in time? You know? Well, I mean, if you're running all directives, let's just assume you did all the time on heroic, it's probably 15 an hour, right? So that's 20 minutes? Would you say about 20 minutes of time, one watch point
Hostile
on average?
detected.
It's crazy if you think about everything from the perspective of time, right? Like when you're re-rolling something like an exotic and you're like, oh, how much is this going to cost me in time? You're like, holy shit. When you get into expertise level, that's mostly what I'm talking about. Like when you're leveling up your expertise of something, you know? And so you just get your brand new Ouroboros and then you're in there loading up on expertise. You're like, oh my God, this is so expensive in time. You know how long it took to get 60 exotic components? I mean, that's ridiculous. Oh yeah, good point. Times that by 4, right? Yeah, good point. All right, we got some ammo. Let's do this. I'm liking this build though, and I think this is gonna be one on my list for next season. We'll see if I end up running gunner or not. I like the ability of just getting a stronger goal in and keeping what we got going on here.
Reinforcements incoming.
I mean, and part of that being because you can add a hot shot, and that's gonna be cool. All right. I'm trying to wait, not bleed. Oops, I didn't mean to waste a bullet. Every bullet, it hurts when you waste a bullet, I'm telling you. Let's kill her with our pistol, we need ammo. One of the cool things about these builds, or sharpshooter in general, is that you get tons of specialization ammo. I mean, it's never really an issue. Every 5 kills, I think is what it is. Oh, that wasn't a headshot earlier, huh? That was... Another headshot. It works! You're getting good at it. It's kind of becoming a game now, right? Shouldn't have missed. They're having a hard time chewing through that regen. We kept that protection from elites, huh? We might be able to get one more on there. I'm okay though. I don't feel like I need it, so I'm gonna leave it.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Oh, you bummer. Oh, there. I got you. Oh. There we go. What's happening here? Elevation shots. You just never land those. Or at least I don't.
Stand there. Gonna kill you.
When there's a difference in grade between you and your opponent, it's just so hard in this game. I miss them like 90% of the time.
I have
Let's get a headshot with our pistol because we need some ammo.
head down next time.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Oh! Come on. Ah! Fuck. I'd really like to know how much bleed affects your like ability to ADS and move, you know what I mean? Definitely does something, but how much of it is just visual animation and how much of it is actual hard decrease in performance? Like, you know what I mean? Or if any at all, or, you know, you don't really know. It could just be perceptual, you know? It feels like I'm moving slower, but maybe I'm not. Maybe it feels like I'm ADSing slower, but maybe I'm not, you know? I mean, I think you definitely run slower though, but it's just hard to measure, you know? Oh. See, now they're all spread out. Dude. Reloading. Damn the ammo. Yeah, you see that? I definitely move slower, huh?
Immediate medical assistance needed.
That regen's nice. It becomes even more helpful when you get pinned down, you know? You can't shoot for some reason, and
Targeting object.
oof, that special ammo sets. Ooh, get me out of here. Fuck. Yeah, that bleed. I mean, I'm pretty surprised that I can't outperform that bleed. I probably would need a little bit more armor to do that, but I'm running 3 armor cores, aren't I? I mean, that's not usually a problem for me, so it's kind of weird, you know? We're pretty tanky here, so it is kind of weird that I go down right there. Let me look at my build again. I mean, there's the whole, like, I mean, it's not that I want to take damage because it makes it harder to shoot, but 1.2, maybe it's that shitty armor core there, honestly. You wouldn't think it'd make a difference, but I run 1.3 million sniper builds all the time, and run them with less, you know, without preservation, and I feel like there's plenty of survivability. Against the bleed, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the bleed specifically. I feel like that bleed is just like hitting hard. It bled me dry along with their weapon damage, and I feel like we should have had more resistance against that. I don't know. Take that. I think they do a pretty good job with some of their animations in this game. Chems, they do a pretty good job with the like the oxidizer chem. You know how it's basically the same animation from Reanimated, how it kind of explodes out. And then I also like the shock is always really vibrant. These guys might know what they're doing a little bit. It's gonna be hard not gaming for a few days, I can be honest with you. I'm gonna develop a Twitch. Sniper build or headshot builds you do kind of get a little bit addicted to them. There's something about it, right? Any game.
Supply room access unlocked.
I'm excited about Starfield. I don't know if you guys have been tracking that news, but a lot of good stuff coming down that pipeline. They're starting in February. They're gonna be releasing every 6 weeks. It's a big deal. And mod support's coming in for Xbox. Better go clean our shit out over here, huh? Getting a little full. Yeah, they're adding more to shipbuilding too. Some sort of new vehicle system. Yeah, I'm always farming belts. I've been farming Belson for like 5 years. I know the feeling, man. You can never have enough of it. I mean, I have most of the pieces on the gloves and whatever, but backpacks and chest pieces, still looking. I want all red versions, you know, with the right, so they have to have the right talent in order to do that. And by doing that, it allows me to, it makes it easier to farm on your other pieces. So, for example, if you're going to run a Picara's holster and it's forced to having armor, then you don't end up being over armored because your belt's on chest piece is red. You know, it's the little things like that. So as far as gear, what I'm running, this is one of these last apparel events, maybe micro. This came from the last apparel event, I think. Is that right? Or maybe the one before. I think it was the last one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't worn it before, actually, so. And then pants-wise, I'm running the Problem Solver pants, which is a couple of apparel events ago, I think. The shoes are last apparel event, so these are the Tomorrow boots, the red ones. And then the hat is the technician hat, which is also a apparel event, the one where they did specializations. So just whipped it together. I was kind of getting tired of my Santa outfit. Oh, don't forget on Tuesday. So if you're going to be out of town, the Hollywood event ends on Tuesday. You might want to spend your red stars. So let's see what we got here to crush and spend. Probably have many of those already, so just more to delete. Yeah, I mean, chest pieces and backpacks are always going to be the hardest on anything you farm. But it depends on how rare you're looking for. I mean, I got the skill ones are pretty valuable and they tend to drop more. I got lots of the skill ones, you know, like Bellstone with skill damage and kinetic momentum and armor regen. Those are really helpful in skill builds. Bellstone's my favorite, probably my favorite brand set in the game. I have a lot of those. Oh, I never noticed her chest piece. Does anybody wear the? You can run the Pentco ones. Speaking of game mode, they didn't give us summit apparel. Or descent apparel. It would be cool to get the descent apparel, some sort of green thing. All right, so let's see here. No. I'm desperately needing to delete things again. But the problem is the gear sets. The gear sets cause me to delete too many brand sets. Weapons, I mean, you're pretty good. You get to a point, don't you think, where you're pretty good on weapons for the most part? You know, where you have everything, you know? Of course, when they make major changes, I need more God rolled Gila too. Yeah. There's no super hurry though. February is so close yet so far away. Let's see, expertise. Go to my traps. Don't need materials. Still got to do these. Just spending down a little bit. We're almost at 22. Not that it matters. It doesn't matter because I don't have shit for exotics right now, I think. Like, let me see here. Me and Grumpy are like opposites when it comes to resources. Let me see. I got 68, so I can basically do one. I mean, I probably shouldn't even be dumping resources in until next season, but I'd be full on. I'd hit the cap on many of these. I didn't see any busy bee update. Oh, that reminds me. They're not touching pistols so far, which is crazy. They haven't touched. That tells you something about pistols in my mind. They're really, not all of them, but some of them are really strong, and they've never been, as far as I can remember, they've never been adjusted. Have they, guys? Does anybody remember a pistol adjustment? Rebalancing? But they're strong. I mean, but anyways, yeah, they're not touching those. They're not touching the vectors or the M1As. Any of the strong weapons. They're not doing much to those. Yeah, I don't really farm. I mean, I'm pretty casual about farming now too, because you know, we've been there, done that. Remember the days? I mean, when you were early in the game, you grind, man. You know, I grinded. I grinded. You know, I remember being there for hours, just in the same zone and looking for that item. It was before Countdown. Countdown's really changed the game, you know? But you have to kind of be in a mood for Countdown, and I'm not in that mood all the time, you know? A lot of my gear I got from global events. Like, the best gear came from global events, all the named items, basically. Exotics you just get naturally. Never really had to farm an exotic. Early on I did, very early on. Obviously there's the quest ones, and then I remember having to farm the Lady Death. I mean, I spent like 2 days on the Lady Death back in the day, never got it to drop. And I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna wait for the patch update where it was announced that they were gonna put it in the loot pool. But I wasted 2 full days in New York just, you know, hunting the named bosses. It was annoying. You know, there's a grind in this game for sure. Yeah, try the RPK. RPK is always a good one. I'm excited about the good times as well. That's amazing. I mean, worst thing about except for the RPK, because it's kind of like an assault rifle. But outside of that, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the L86. I just don't like the way it feels. But outside of that, all of them just got really shitty reloads, right? You know which one's getting a major nerf? Well, maybe it's not a nerf anymore. Never mind. But I'm thinking like, you know, the good times is great because it's already a really strong LMG, and then it's just going to get a part of that 20% weapon damage buff. Holy crap. Anyways, but it bypasses the reload, and that's the worst part. I mean, that's my favorite talent on LMGs is anything that skips the reload. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the new reliable. I like that gun. I like it now. It's gonna get stronger, okay. You know? Easy peasy on a striker build, that one. Big 65 round mag, whatever it is. You know? And then more weapon handling. On top of weapon handling. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, I don't like the reticule on it either. You know how they put the square hitbox. Yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on them though. I mean, some of these weapons might not be on your radar, and you're just gonna end up loving it. You know. Just because it gets a buff and it was just like, you know, you might pick it up and you might try it and be like, oh, I never liked this gun before. Oh my gosh, all of a sudden like it. And, you know, it doesn't have to be on the meta list, you know, for you to enjoy a weapon and to be meta with it, to be your meta, you know. I feel like the meta in this game is kind of under an influence a lot, you know? You see a lot of people putting out videos and stuff saying, hey, is it new meta, question mark, and be like, I don't, you know? Kind of, you know, meta for what? In general? For all gameplay? This is the best assault? No way, right? No way. Meta for what? New meta for what? You know what I'm saying? Because not all assault rifles or whatever would work for all content. You know? Like, maybe if the Kingbreaker was the meta before, let's just say, you know, maybe you really enjoyed it for Legendary, but it sucked in Heroic. It's not effective in heroic or in raids. Yeah, you are the meta, right? Yeah, I'm excited about Obliterate too. I think I like that. I think Intimidate's the most exciting change though. Chess piece wise, I'm a big fan of that Intimidate talent. I always was. I think like my meta, like the ultimate meta is I don't really use. I don't know. I'm like a super off meta guy, aren't I? Like, cause I mean, the Ouroboros Memento combo is my meta, you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure I could run that into any content in the game. Counter to what most people would believe. You know what I mean? Because, like, even if, like, I was going into a raid, I'm pretty sure it would work in there, too. It's just, like, you know what I mean? Like, you get a kill, you grab a trophy. Unless it takes you, like, 10 hours to clear a raid, then yeah. But I don't do raids enough to really even care. But yeah, I mean, the Memento Ouroboros combo, I guess if I had to pick one, would be my meta. I mean, I could run it in Incursion. I could run it in Heroic. I'd definitely run it in Legendary. You can see me do that. All armor, 1.8 million armor. I think that it's weird. I mean, like, what I consider the meta is probably the opposite of what you would think. Like, for me, like, my meta is a max armor striker build with the Memento and a really strong weapon like the Ouroboros, the tactical Vector, or even the Dark Winter, or I guess the St. Elmo's. Any of those. Kingbreaker. It doesn't really matter the weapon, but the setup would be the meta, like, is the Memento plus a bunch of armor on a striker build. I mean, it is... You know, and everybody else's is the opposite, right? So everybody else's meta is an all red striker with the striker backpack. And then, like, for me, it's just like, I can do the same thing in that build with all armor and be running around like a madman and picking up armor. You know what I mean? Like, a 6-tier shield, I'm happy with that. Shit. You know what I mean? Instead of that paper light shield you get with the all red striker build, you know? I don't need a healer. What if there's no healer on a team? Don't need one. But if I had a healer, imagine how tanky I would be then. You know, and so what some people don't realize is how strong Striker is, that you don't need even the red cores. You know what I mean? You don't even need the weapon damage on Striker. You know? It's crazy that it's flying. Striker's still in the game. I don't know what they're doing. I think they need to make the other gear sets stronger. They need to attack the gear sets. Just lift them in power. You know, just lift them in power. That's it. You guys should try it, man. If you're an all-red striker guy, you'd be surprised what you can do with the Memento and 1.8 million in armor. You know what I mean? Like, if you're, but that's not everybody. But if you run a striker build and you take lead in kills in legendary, okay, so if you come out number 1, number 2 out of 4 players in a legendary, right, for top kills, then I challenge you to run an all blue striker build, still with crits, but you know what I mean, all blue cores and a Memento, and run it. Go run it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are afraid to run that build because people tell them that not to. You know, because if you don't run an all red striker build, you're not manly enough. You know, that's basically the sentiment. You know. And so it's like, that's basically what people tell you, right? If you run, you don't need armor, you just need to get good at the game. That's what people say. And it's just like, I don't understand that logic, but because I feel like the better at the game you are, the more armor you should run. And you see how backwards the way I think, right? I think differently. That's the way I think. I'm running more armor because we've already done the all reds is almost like a newbie build. You know what I mean? It's like we've exhausted that. We're beyond that now. Now the challenge is, how long can I play out of cover and create a build that has me God? That's the real challenge, you know? The real challenge isn't building and using a build that allows you to feel like a hunter in this game. You know what I mean? A death dealer in this game. And so you want just like a hunter, right? What does the hunter look like, right? He's got tech, but more importantly, he hits hard and he can take tons of damage. That's what I want to be. I want to hit hard. I mean, how many shots does a hunter need to put on you to drop you to the ground? Not very many, right? He's not all armor, right? He's not like just some tank. He's not. That guy's lethal, man. He is lethal. He'll drop you in a couple of shots. So that's the real meta in this game. The real meta is to be tanky and powerful. And the people that realize that, or the people that are brave enough to use those builds, you know, are gonna have a ton of fun in this game. But there's some people that they hold on to these laws that you don't need armor, you just need to get good on the game. It's just like, what kind of law is that you live by? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not running an all red Ouroboros striker build, then you're not good at this game. You know, you're not doing it right. And it's like, I don't understand that. I mean, I understand it, but I don't understand how they don't see the bigger picture. You know, I understand where they're coming from, and I understand where that applies, right? So, you know, an incursion, you don't know anybody. Let's rule out any possible variables. Go in there with the strongest build, makes things easier. I get that. You know, but when you're solo dominating 1 versus 50 people in a control point of full elites, you know, it's just like, I feel so powerful on the damage side, and I'm running 1.8 million in armor with an assault rifle or SMG if you want, you know, whatever build, pistol, shotgun, rifle, sniper, SMG, and assault rifles. All of them I can run 1.8 million armor. The one that struggles the most, and this is probably what a lot of the community experiences, the build set that struggles the most is assault rifles. Isn't that funny? The most popular weapon in the game is the one that has the most difficult time running armor. Although you can. But you know what I mean? It's just like, and the reason why, in my opinion, is because of that health damage stat is not that useful in heroic content, and you deal in nothing but elites, basically, right? In open world, it's pure elites out there. And so you got this health thing on there, and it's giving you 20% health, and it's just like, it's hardly applying to anything, you know? And it's like a wasted stat of and it's a multiplier placeholder. So where if you're running like an SMG, you're getting crit chance there. And that's why SMGs are so easy to feel powerful, because they give you all the crit chance you need, and there's no health damage there, and you don't need it in heroic content. So that's why things like the tactical vector, the M1928, any of them, the Tech 9, the Dark Winter, the Ouroboros, all of those, like, you can run all armor and, you know, kill so fast they poop their pants, right? Literally. And so, and you'll be hitting like close to 2 million on crit with all armor. You know, do you really need more damage than that? That's with all armor, 2 million per crit, you know? And it's not that hard to do it. It's really not that hard to do. That's without expertise. That's without expertise. I think we were hitting at like 1.7, 1.8 million with the tactical vector, you know, and that was running measured with all armor cores and the memento, intimidate chest piece. And so, the striker, of course. So that's like, you know, and so that's what I'm saying. So like, once you realize that, it's like, you know, but I think the probably the sentiment where a lot of people might have a hard time understanding that is because there's so many assault rifle users, right? And so it's the most popular class, and they really are the weaker class in LMGs. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. They're amazing, right? Like, I mean, put on a FAMAS, all red FAMAS. But yeah, I feel like with assault rifles, they struggle a little bit more than other classes with armor. You know, so you can still do it, but they don't feel as powerful as an SMG would, or a rifle would, or a sniper, or a shotgun. And so, like, if you and I'm not saying that it's a weak class and that you shouldn't use it. I'm saying it's like weaker when it comes into terms of adding armor to those builds. And so they have to be a little bit more balanced, you know. I mean, it hurts a lot on an assault rifle build to lose a talent to something unless your gear set is compensating for that. You know, let me give you an example. So, like, if you put on Unbreakable on an assault rifle build in PvE content, heroic content at least, I mean, I can feel that loss of damage. And then in order for that to fly, I'm gonna need to make sure I'm running something strong to offset that loss of damage, you know? And so assault rifles are really hard to get high crits, right? Because they don't give you all the crits unless you're running the Vector. And that was one of the graceful things about St. Elmo's, is that they gave you the crits. And that's why it's such a good gun. Such a good gun. They gave you the crits and they gave you the handling. I don't think I have, Larry. I would love to do that though. Everybody's running MMRs. We would pull through that content pretty quickly, I think. Cause like, you know, those big heavy bosses, you could time it out, right? Where like, okay, on 4, everybody shoot his head. That's how the speedrunners do it. Like to kill aggro at the end and with single shot, 2 guys are hitting him with in the head at the same time. So one breaks his helmet and the other guy penetrates his skull. And so it doesn't matter who hits first. One is going to override the other. Yeah, so for next season, just going back to Tiny Tootster's question, I think that my ultimate meta build, I guess, just to kind of fall into line in terms of, you know, having a meta that I would use everywhere, which I wouldn't, but you know, let's just pretend that I would run the same build every day. That's gonna be the kill so fast they poop their pants build. So that's the one I just described a minute ago. So it's gonna be an all blue striker build with crits, the memento, and probably the intimidate chest piece. But you could easily run, and that's a striker shield, by the way, striker shield. And then the Ouroboros now I would use the Ouroboros. And so where before I was using the tactical vector. And so the change, I already know that build is super strong. It already works. And so the change is that they're buffing Intimidate. But the reality is you don't have to run Intimidate because the striker chest is so ridiculous and easy to use with the Ouroboros. You could just stick with that, you know? So really, I mean, nothing's really changing. I could just, you know, nothing's really changing because the reality is the chest piece is so strong, you don't need Intimidate. So for me, my meta doesn't really change. I mean, I'm not going to use the Eagle Bearer because on paper it's got better DPS, you know? I don't think that gun's that great. With or without, it has nothing to do with damage. It's never had anything to do with damage. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as Ouroboros. They gave us a stronger tactical vector. It was like the tactical vector didn't have a damage problem. I wish the Ouroboros had a better talent. But either way, I like the Ouroboros. It's easy. I don't have to think about it. So that's the good news about the Ouroboros. It's like, yeah, it's easy. I don't have to think about it. But the Eagle Bearer is a different beast, man. It doesn't handle that well for me. And it's just like, I end up having to do something to the build to compensate for that. And I'm not sure it's worth it. Except for the 1 or 2 times I just want to whip it out to wipe off the dust, you know? Do I think that affected? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think so. I think they're all small changes. I mean, there's only a few weapons that are really getting a serious buff, right? But like, if you think about it, the Eagle Bearer is getting a buff, but why? Because not that many people really have it. What was the other one I was thinking about that too? Oh, the Hunter Killer chest piece. strong, right? But think about what you have to do to get it. Those are a lot of hunters between you and that chest piece. Perfect intimidate. There's a lot of hunters. You know, and that food cart one alone is a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? To take out the food cart hunters. So many steps in that one. And like the bighorn's getting a buff, but you know, they know you're not going to land all your shots. And it's got a small mag. You know, so I just think that, I mean, there's going to be a lot that are going to be kind of a wow thing. I mean, the Mantis is getting a 30% or the SRS is getting a 30% buff, but at the same time, how is that really going to change my performance? Not a ton. What it's going to do though, is it's going to allow me to be a little bit more flexible with my third attribute. So maybe I don't need damage to targets out of cover there anymore. So I can put on magazine size or something else. It's going to allow me to maybe add more protection or armor regen mods to the build. So, but what I don't need is just straight up more damage to my Mantis. But I'm excited about it because it opens up other utilities for my build. So, you know what I mean? So it's not, in other words, it's not going to, for me, it's not going to leak out to being overpowered on the offensive side where they need to rebalance the enemies. It's going to end up being, I'm going to have some sort of really higher end handling or defense, you know, something like that. That's how it's going to play out for me. But it will be a little bit nice on the power side and on some shots, like taking on Chungas and stuff like that. It might be a better contender now against Chungas, where right now the Nemesis just is way better on those guys. But if I can get the Mantis to two-shot a Chunga, I'll be pretty happy about that. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, so I see a lot of weapons getting buffs, but I also see all the problems that still exist with those weapons, even though they're giving it more damage. And so, you know, you might see, for example, what's the one? Like the Cetar getting a bigger mag, but they're compensating, right? They're compensating for all those missed shots per second. What was the other one? The G36? The G36 got faster was it the G36 I'm thinking of? Faster RPMs and a bigger mag, both, I think it got, if I'm thinking right. And I was like, I was kind of bummed by that. I didn't want it to, I don't think it should get more RPMs because it's kind of got a stability issue. It's got a burst kick to it when you first start shooting it, and you lose a lot of rounds for that. So the mag is required as it is. The bigger mag is required as it is with its current state. But because they're not fixing that, they're technically making it worse by adding more RPMs. So that burst kick is still going to be there, but now you're going to lose even more bullets. So you're in the same boat. You're sitting in the same exact boat. You got no advantage there, except when you're standing in front of an enemy 3 feet away and you're putting that mag into his chest. So of course that'll help, and I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. But so I just don't see them as big game changers. You know, I don't think they're going to break the game at all. Too many problems with all the weapons. All the weapons that got a design to them, and none of those designs are being really touched. And if they are, like the Cetar is technically a fix. It's not really a buff. It needs that ammo because it misses so much. And you can't put certain mods on it and whatever. You know what I mean? So there's this, I don't know. I can't think of one weapon really that stands out to me as like, oh my God, this is going to be insane. No, and that might just because I'm not looking at the list right now. So there's that. And then the gear, same thing with all the gear. I mean, Foundry is going to be interesting. I'm wondering if it's going to be overpowered, but I think that a lot of the issues that will come out, it's all going to be PvP, which is funny, right? Because this is all supposed to be a big PvP patch, and really, even though it's PvE and PvP, there's a big emphasis on fixing the Dark Zone and conflict. And I see all of these things really opening up more challenges for the Dark Zone, you know? Like Foundry, the original Foundry, remember you could go into the Dark Zone with the original Foundry and never die. And so they nerfed it. So Foundry used to give you 3% armor regen and I think 100% shield health or something like that. And then they nerfed it to 1% and 50. So you know, and so they're kind of pushing it back there a little closer. You know, and I don't know which if those stats are going to change inside PvP, but they didn't appear to be double-sided. The True Sun's heavy gunner. Imagine how hard he's going to hit after the LMG buff. So you're saying, I know that enemy damage is based off of base damage of weapon. If you increase weapon damage, enemy hits harder. I see what you're saying there, Dragon. I've heard that before, but I don't know. But you got a good point. Yeah, there's some behind the scenes stats like that, right? Like a lot of people don't know that, and I had to dig pretty deep to find this out actually myself. But there's a lot of people that don't know that the enemy's damage scales in group as well, not just their health pool, but their damage output scales also. I mean, I think we all had our suspicions. And a lot of people just assumed. But yeah, they hit harder the more people you add to your group too. And it's very similar to the armor scaling, but not exactly. I have it, actually. I have the scaling number. Somebody tested it. Let me see if I have it here. Let me see. In a 4-man group, damage scaling is 1.658 on veterans. 1.7 on elites in a 4-man group. In heroic, of course. That's the increase. Isn't that crazy? They're basically hitting twice as hard in a 4-man group. Isn't that insane? So you do need more armor in a 4-man group. You know, they hit it twice. You need twice as much armor in group than you do without. Sort of, not really. I mean, team composition goes a long way. So, like, you know, one of you guys runs fire chems, then you don't. If one of your guys runs a status effect build, then you don't, you know. Yeah, Norman, it would. I mean, how are you getting those 6 skill tiers would be the question. If you're putting on 2-piece Brazos is my assumption, because I think you wouldn't want to lose a sharpshooter, because sharpshooter is actually giving you 25% damage because of the headshot damage buff to your sniper. So yeah, I mean, and I even like the hotshot backpack if you're gonna run the hotshot backpack, which you would, right? So you'd run hotshot backpack and then everywhere else hotshot, and then headhunter chest piece, whatever you want there, Providence or Walker. And then the Sawyers, yeah, absolutely, because that's damage to your gun and to help you ensure your one-shot chain killing, and then you get the explosive resistance. So yeah, it would work. I'm pretty sure we've done it somewhere along the line. Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, but the blue core gets in the way. But yeah, you can run a 5, just run a 5 skill tier. That's what I would do. You know what I mean? Just run a 5 skill tier. And just not run technician. So don't abandon the build because you're running 5 skill tiers, right? That's a strong build. Because you're chain killing everything, you know? So I wouldn't abandon the build at all because of 5 skill tiers. I mean, the skills, they're damaging decoys, right? Look at them like that. They're damaging decoys. Always shooting. There's something always shooting. And you're really versatile too. That's what I really liked about those builds when we were running them, is that it's like, oh, we're here. Let me take off this skill and put on that skill. Get to aggro. Oh, let me put on some riot foam. All right, folks, I appreciate you. I'm gonna bounce. I gotta get some grub in this tummy of mine. So sadly, this is gonna be my last stream for the weekend. I'll miss you guys tomorrow and on Christmas, but I'll be chiming in via the comments and posts. So I'll catch you guys there. But happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all, or whatever you celebrate. And then I will see you on the other side of the holiday. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. Don't forget about the video, post it in the chat. Catch you later.